Alright, I think we're good. I think we're fine. I hope. Actually, let me double check one thing. Come on. Do the thing I want. Click that thing. And okay, we're good. And a 1 and a 2 and what's up, everyone? This is Coffee with Soul. I'm your host. We're going to chat. We're going to talk, hang out, do stuff. Okay, let me tell you specifically what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do kind of I'm gonna do a visit of my own place, and we'll see if I end up cutting that into a video I put out, just so I can like capture this whole place for posterity, as well as retrospective commentary, yada yada yada. So hopefully I'll be able to get 2 visits on time. So we're just gonna kind of like jump right into it. Let's say hi to folks right quick. Who's first? Ravens, you're the first person to say hi. You also subscribe, so I much appreciate that. Also, what is up to a Red Mana Panda and Lillian Storm? What's up to Arcadius and the Slippin' Hen and Valeri and Rain and Jolly Goodfella and Malvenu and Puddle Jumper, and to the rest of y'all, the beautiful digital smiling face is going to be joining us throughout the day. It's Thursday. I hope everyone's doing well. We got like hopefully we'll get AOTC tonight for with you know, the Sunwell raid, whatever it's called, March of Caldenas. Hopefully we'll finish that. If so, great. If not, crushing defeat, massive depression, and we'll figure that out. So yesterday I was kind of like thinking to myself, what kind of things am I going to talk about for the weekly, or am I going to have a weekly? Because, you know, if there's not enough like news to really like talk about that I find interesting, then I might just not have a weekly, or I might like cover another topic. And as I was thinking about that, I just kept working on the cafe, and you know, the cafe part of the house, and then all of a sudden, oh no, thank you, Ravens. And then I suddenly couldn't put down any more decor. I was like, wait, what happened? I'm like, oh crap, I've run out of space. And so for me, that was kind of like the stopping point. I'm like, wait, skirt. So I can go back and, you know, delete stuff, make space and all that. But I decided, you know what? No, I'm going to leave it as is for now. And then I'll just kind of like look back on this and see what lessons there are to learn. You know, I feel like that's a good teaching experience rather than trying to hobble things together and make it work. So there are things that are like incomplete. But I'm going to leave it like that. And eventually I'm going to do a teardown. I'm still not going to do a teardown of Light's Refuge. That was the place for Azeroth Interior, so I'm going to leave that up. But I will tear this down at some point. Because I want to do like little projects. And I'll talk about that in some of my self-commentary. So hello, Miss Lol. And again, I hope everyone's doing well, that you're in good health, and all that. And with this, away we go. So this is my place. You know, it's every now and then that I'll show off, hey, I'm actually making stuff every now and then. So I gotta set this up though, because I don't have an exterior. I just went right into the interior. And there were some goals that I wanted to have with this place. One, I wanted to try out like a new concept of like pathing, and so I'll describe that as we go. But also, I wanted to cover a couple things. I wanted to have a cafe. I needed to have that like somewhere. But I also wanted to have like this kind of like very natural kind of climb and feel, and a place that sort of tells a story. And so this is my attempt to do it. I don't know how successful this was, and I'll let you guys decide. Well, okay, I decided myself, but yeah, whatever. So as soon as we come in, we're met with, you know, this sort of opening. Very rocky, very bright for some reason. And we have like cave stuff ahead of us. We turn around and we have just brightness. There's no exits. I just decided, you know, I'm just gonna come in from this just to indicate, yeah, this, yes, is definitely coming from the outside, and I'll just kind of leave that as some sort of like abstraction. So we go through. Greens are everywhere. Has this kind of feel of like, okay, not a lot of folks have been here. Spider webs kind of all over the place, but not really. Let me turn the lights down too, just to get the vibe right. Right. So we get like these sorts of contrasts. Very dark, but we're going through this spot. A little bit of light leaking through, and a little bit more. We see like a little bit of these these sun shafts coming in from the Tome of the Ancient Kings, right? So we're slowly making our way through. Find a sewer grate, go right through. Happen to notice this little Mesmerga right there, which I think is, I'm gonna say is it's actually just a plushie, not an actual Murloc person, plus a backpack. Okay. And then we run into like these ruins. You're right, the music needs to be off. Thanks, dude. There we go. And then we run into these like ruins kinds of places. So okay, we started from a cave. It kind of broke into, well, this kind of like dilapidated state. Like maybe there was a cave in, maybe there was a collapse of some sort. A little bit of evidence of life. We have some lighting over there. Then we start coming out. More ruins, things are, overgrown, and, it's like, where do we go next? But then all of a sudden we realize, oh, we're outside. Oh, we're in a skybox. Okay. We look around and there's like this whole castle set up, or at least like a keep of some sort, but like with the growth like all over the place. Yeah, this kind of tells us, oh, this is like some sort of like abandoned area. So, it was some bastion of civilization at some point. Here's like the far shot. But at some point, everyone left or everyone was killed, something like that. Why? Where did they go? What happened? Maybe we'll find some evidence of that. Maybe not. But in the meantime, we just have like this sort of setup. Now, I made it so you can't really jump off, even if you try to. You're like, so I put up some barriers here to prevent folks from getting lost, because if you get dropped down there, you're like done. So we cross these parapets of sorts. We go off into the other side, into this kind of blasted open floor. Like this part is just totally collapsed. What was here? A little bit hard to tell. Some table work. We can see like, okay, there's some mugs over there. So maybe people were like hanging out here. Maybe it was like a small, like tiny bar of some sorts, or a meeting area. Who knows? So we make our way down through this blasted floor, and now we just run into ruins. Now it's just chaos in here. Floorboards are down. We see evidence of like more cave-in stuff, but it feels like we're underground, sort of. Or at least we're on like this first level. We go across, and now we go back. We enter, we kind of enter like the bottom of this keep. Again, ruins all over the place. Barely lights. There's barely any evidence of lights. Okay, maybe it's just magic lights. Maybe that's why. Oh, we're able to see where where we're going. Up above, we have like this low roof, but also like a whole lot of growth. Obviously it's really, really dark in here, and that's like the intent here. But things are being barely holding together. It's about to fall apart. I should probably just get a move on before anything like crazy happens. We go into this next room, and we're presented with this not skybox room, stairwell room. We go up one level, but it's just junk. Total junk. Debris all over the place. Growth is like all over the spot. There's like a big old sun shaft that's coming through from like some hole in the ceiling or something like that. And we have no choice but to climb, because up there's some spotlights, right? So we're climbing up all this debris. Like there we were, and we're climbing up all of this. We're kind of pathed along up here, and now we can see like something is towards the top there. We get to the top of the climb, and now what? Now what do we have? Like, this is a very odd room compared to everything else that we saw, because now we see evidence of activity and life and such. And then all of a sudden, okay, now there's like this whole outdoor area, but we can't really go outside because I stopped you guys. No one can go out there. So this is just a big window, as far as I'm concerned. And so now what kind of story is being told here? You know, we see stuff being carted in or carted out. And I'm trying to send the message that no, things are being carted out, like things are being emptied out. We wander into what appears to be a throne room of sorts. You know, one throne, no queen, or lady of the keep or whatever. Bunch of treasure on the side, and then suspiciously over here we have a doorway that's been totally like blocked off. And so then we can kind of like speculate, okay, what did happen here? I'm not sure, but maybe there was like some sort of invasion. And then, they blocked all this off. But things just didn't work out. And somehow, maybe the people escaped here, maybe not. I mean, there are coffins here, so perhaps maybe not. And now the people here, they're, the corpses, they were cleaned up, they're put into the coffins, and they're being carted away. We can speculate something like that. So it's not telling like a very, not a complete story, but it's not telling like everything. We can kind of like speculate what's going on here. All right, so let's kind of like cut through, because we're not done yet. We still have like this hallway to go through, and we're seeing evidence of, again, things being cleaned up. There's like plans being made. Tools are doing its thing. Barely lit up. Then we go through this shroud, and then now what? Now we're in a kitchen of sorts. A very sparse kitchen, right? We got coffee stuffs. Plenty of coffee stuffs. Other things to help mix stuff together. Some dishware. Not too much stuff, but we have, the beginnings of some things to like start putting some things together, but not a whole lot of stuff. And then we come out here. And then here is the front. So we started in this like whole escape hole, abandoned keep sort of thing. And then we come out here into this cafe of sorts. Going through the kitchen, and now we can sort of explore like what it is that we have just been through, right? So starting with the bakery stuff, pies, delicious things, lots of stuff that's going to go. Here's like one of the cake. Here's like some, I don't know, maybe cake boxes, cookie boxes, but there's a lot of stuff that's going ready to get sold. A little bit of coffee stuff being made there on the side. Over here is the wine side. All wine, all sorts of stuff. All the dishware that you need to like get things going. And then upstairs, because there's some stairs being set up here on the side, just some storage. Just some stuff that's being laid out. No big deal. Okay, so let's get down from here. Right here on the side is, I tried to make kind of something where like, okay, you want to get in line, cool, you get in line because you're making your orders or something like that. But then there's like just this kind of like retail shelf to just sell random knickknacks, statues, papers, giant Miss Murgle heads, whatever, something like that. Also here, this stage, so it can be for whatever. It could be for singing. It could be for stand-up. You can have a band or something like that. Right now they just have like, it's just set there for like someone to like sit, and like that's it. So like here's the further out shot of how that would look. Little bit artsy if you wanted to have like a solitary person like who's like standing here and they're like, they're doing their thing. So it's gonna look a little bit like that. Yeah. Happy with how this stage ended up looking. I like using the target dummies for like some of that stuff. And then of course, you buy stuff, you're gonna sit, you're gonna hang, you're gonna do your stuff. Once you're done, you grab your cutlery, you toss it into the bin over there. If you're getting stuff to go, here's a place to like add your sugar and whatever, throw out whatever trash or whatever extra trash that you have and all that. Right this way is some extra seating, sparse lighting, pretty minimalistic right over here, but I wanted to like add a little bit with like paintings, add a little bit of color. And then we kind of come outside. So we got some outdoor seating set up, lots of greens to, just kind of pretty things up. And then right outside, kind of a, I don't know, like a rivery, swampy area that I had set up. Wanted to kind of hide the illusions there. Um, I ran out of budget, so there's a blank space there. But we can say that's an illusion of some sort. And that's what I did here too. I just kind of I did my best to kind of close off the space here, obscure as much as I could to just give this sort of okay, this is a spot that's outside the cafe. That's fun. There's an upstairs too. Very narrow set that we made, so I can add a little bit more seating. Lots of paintings to close things off. And this overhead here happens to help add a little bit of extra color, while you're up here. Not exactly lighting, but just, again, a little bit of color that I wanted to throw together. So I'm going to drop down. Boop. You saw a couple of bookshelves and whatnot to grab stuff if you wanted to. And then finally, I dumped the rest of my budget into this. I wanted to make this really gaudy street, right? Someone's going down this rich neighborhood, and then what do they have? Golden statues along the street. It would have been cool if I just kept going with the golden statues, but I definitely ran out of budget. So instead, I just wanted to have this whole this whole arcing thing. One goddess in the middle, everyone else, all the rabble below, who's giving their support to her. And that's it. That's the build. So things that I learned for myself here is I was way too ambitious. I was trying to do too much at once. If I wanted to do a killer cafe, cool. I could have had the space to, I could have torn down all the ruins and stuff and just went nasty on the cafe stuff with tons of little details, from the tabling to all that stuff to bigger outdoor stuff to more things to add to this whole city street kind of feel, because we come out, as we're coming out, it has that sort of thing where we're in a big city and we're going down into the cafe area. And then we can see there's other buildings or other stuff to the side, but you can't come out because I don't let you. So yeah, no going down this street. So for me, this is one of the big takeaways. You can kind of see there's evidence of the privacy screen, is controlling where people go. Helping to control where people go, it helps to set an illusion for yourself. So that way you can tell the kind of story, or at least give the kind of visual feast that you want to give to the viewers or the audience by denying them certain access. Right here. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out with the whole setup of, okay, there's stuff coming in or there's stuff going out, and you can see kind of there way in the distance this drill that's actually pointed this way, so it's coming this way. So there's still stuff happening. We're not done yet. The tentative title of this build is called Work in Progress, because we're in the middle of things. This is a cafe that isn't exactly open yet, but it's just getting its stuff together. And then obviously there's all the ruins back there that need to be cleaned up and perhaps salvaged. So maybe the things that were here that you see in this spot, maybe it's stuff that came from the ruins. So this is stuff that's okay, let me just sell some of this stuff, recoup some of the losses from buying this place in the first place, and all that. I thought that would be a fun way to put all that together. So overall happy with the build. But I definitely stretched myself thin because I put in, from the start, I put in so much budget into the start here, because there's tons and tons of budget that's being used for some of these smaller details. Lots of greens. I went crazy with the greens, with Orgrimmar beams. There's a wide use of that. And then so you're asking, how did I go from the skybox room to the other side? So here's what I did. So when we start the build, and there's a lot of distance I'm covering too. I'm moving a lot. Okay. So from here, from this spot right here, almost precisely, like we're going through like the start, and it's around here, around this spot, we enter the skybox room. Actually, let me I think I can go into the floor plan like here. Yeah, so here I'm in a closet space, right? And then all of a sudden I hit the skybox room at this point. So here's where I enter. And you can easily tell because remember the lighting here is set to unnatural dark. Actually, let me double check that it didn't like reset or something like that. Okay, it did reset. Great. So you can kind of tell because all of a sudden it's like bright there because it's a daylight room. And so that doesn't obey all the rules of unnatural dark. So here's where I am outside now. And so I come out. And now you can see I'm on one side of the skybox room. So I'm effectively crossing over to the other side of the skybox room, right? And then we drop down. So note my orientation. We're going through a different direction. And then now we're making our way back inside. So here's the other side of the entrance, basically. And then now you can see the contrast. Here it's like really bright. There it's really dark. That's where we basically re-enter the house. Or, you know, leave the skybox room. So now we are back in here. So the build starts here. We go across, go around this side, right? And then we go here, we go across, re-enter, loop our way back around. And now I'm here, right on the other side. So like you can see the greens there and you can see like stuff on the other side. So here I am on this side. So now we're back here. And oh, I didn't realize that going into the room makeup thing resets the lighting. Ah, interesting. Today I learned. Okay, so this room was definitely a challenge too, because I wanted to give off a really good illusion of just junk that's being laid down here. And it was harder than I thought to put together because, you know, everything just kind of like fuses together. So I wanted to have like a very convincing climb. But also I wanted to not fall in. There's like so many opportunities. There were so many opportunities to like fall in somewhere and then get lost. So I wanted to have what was basically, you know, a very basic climb. But it needed to look convincing. Otherwise, I'm just kind of like jumping up platforms, and I didn't want to do that. That would look like really like fake looking and all that. So yeah, it's a double wide door and you use half of it. Yeah, that was the goal with this sort of spot. I wanted to have something here that felt more gruesome. Like I wanted to, you know, if it'd be awesome if one day we can have like skeletons, bones, things like that. Because then I would just have like, okay, a skeletal person who's sitting on the chair. That would have been a cool vibe to set up. So those sorts of assets, like those aren't a thing, unfortunately. So I wanted to have a bit more of a convincing throne room, and I actually wanted to tell a bit more of a story, but I just ran out of space too. Um, like I wanted to have like a kitchen that was totally emptied out, you know, so I wanted to give the illusion of like, okay, people starved in here. And that's why, you know, and that's how the story ended for the people who had lived here once. And then the escape hatch, you know, you saw like the Murgle in the backpack. That was like some evidence of like, you know, one small child that had to like leave stuff behind, but they did make it through because, you know, they were close to like that whole exit escape hatch sort of thing. So it's kind of a sad story of like what happened here. But then we turn things around. Then we turn things around and we turn into something else. The place is, you know, in the process of being like, you know, stuff is being sold or looted or whatnot. And then things are being sold like here. So like, we can say that, oh, you know, why are there so many paintings? Oh, it's because, you know, we just grab all that stuff from the ruins and everything. So it's like it's a bit of a mix of like old and new things. So yeah, this was fun. You know, a lot of things that I learned about, you know, basic stuff. Like obviously I've seen lots of like great places. But as for like my personal experience, while I've seen a lot of places, applying all that into things that I want to put together, uh, you know, I gotta have more hands-on experience really if I want to, feel like really skilled with like the stuff that I put together. Um, but at some point, sooner than later, I'm gonna do a teardown on this thing and do like a whole project house instead. So it's just gonna be like a series of like smaller things. Because I think one big takeaway for me is less is more. Um, I think I would prefer to, there are builds that we've seen where you have like a crazy build that's built into just like one skybox room or something like that. I don't want to do anything crazy like that. That's like a really big scale. But I think what I would like to do is to just have like small rooms, tiny rooms, things like that, and then explore, like try out different concepts, building techniques, or just like themes that I think are fun. Because I think that'd be cool. Yeah, and that's the build. Yay! And look at that, right on time. Right on time. All right. Smaller rooms are easier to make look more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing. So, obviously, like I worked on the cafe like after everything else. So, like the ruins and whatnot, I think that landed great. Biggest disappointment is probably the kitchen because like it's totally not done. But that's why the whole thing is called work in progress. Because I could have like cleaned some of this stuff up and taken I could easily like claw back some budget by taking a bunch of this stuff down. Like I can get a lot back from that. And do I need to have something like this? No, not really. But I wanted to do it, so I did it. Boom. Small rooms are less. Yeah, yeah. Small rooms are less overwhelming. Like something like this. Like I'm very pleased with how this came together. But man, it was expensive. Because if you look around, you have like so many pieces of like large furniture, and then above you have tons of greens. Not just regular greens, but you have like the really intense greens that use like 5 budget or whatever. So it's a lot that went into that. Here, let me. I think the armor is somewhere around here. Let me turn the lights back on, so you can kind of see. Whoop, whoop. Up here, it's just dripping all over the place. Huge greens. I was trying to take up space, and I only did so great of a job of doing that too. I'm always fussing with bigger rooms because stuff is always bugging me. Yeah, it's just easier to have 4 small rooms and then just link them together and then see what you can do with that. So versus like having a large room, because that just takes a lot of planning. It's a lot of work to just kind of wing it. Like, yeah, let me just start putting stuff down and then I'll like put it together. Like I would say like one of the best things that people can do for themselves is just lay out first. Carve out all the rooms that you want to have set up and then kind of go from there. If that, if you wanted to go for like a bigger sprawling build, like that's what I did here. And I think that was, that helped out like a whole lot. Because I ended up playing with the layouts like a little bit towards the middle and end of it. So it's a good payout for that. Sorry, how's the way? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But still happy with this. Yay. So I'll show it off for like another week or two, and yeah, it'll take me a while to start thinking of like different ideas that I want to like try out. Like I think the first idea that comes to mind is a black and white house or a black and white room. Because I briefly saw someone's build towards the end of a stream. Oh gosh, a month ago, a couple weeks ago, or something like that. And it was like mostly black and white, and I was fascinated by it. It's like, oh, that seems trippy. I like that. I want to do that. Yeah. So I'd like to do like a different, not a different take on it, but I want to give that a go and see how that works out. Because it's basically just going to be a place. It's just I'm going to dye everything. So that's going to be the thing. It has to be like all decor that can be dyed, which is also to say it's going to be pretty much an all founders build. So it's going to be using all stuff from like the neighborhood for the most part, and I'll do my best to make sure that Yeah, it doesn't use anything else. So it would be like a cool, neat thing that anyone can do. They just need the gold to do it. All right, so let me get things sorted. All right, so Mystic Lady, Aragosa, Rob of the Realm, Liberty, and Mugen. These will round out the final 5 for today. And let's begin, or let's start heading over. Or why? Oh, I'm on the wrong character. No, I don't mind. Go ahead. Oh, actually, let me double check that my things are my privacy settings are good. 1 second. And then hopefully in a week in the coming weeks there'll be like an open house sort of thing, and then I'll just open it up and people can like check out both builds and just hang out. So plan just buy 1,000 rocks, have a and when we came home, so that would be good. Now when I did Light's Refuge, I did plan that out too. Like I was going over with Steph, and she was like jumping on platforms. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have a room here. I'm probably gonna have a room here. This is gonna be like a treasure room of sorts or a bedroom, blah blah blah. She's like, dude, love it, let's go. So that was also a very simple build because it's essentially 2 large rooms, or it's essentially a 2-story large room followed by a nighttime skybox room. That's what it basically is, if you want to think of it like that. All right, so let me go back to the house real quick, change the settings, make sure we're good. Meanwhile, cheers, buddies. Yay. Ugh. Maybe later I can say, yeah, feel free. No, I glossed over a lot of details. So, especially because it's my place, I obviously don't have the same kind of, the same kind of sense of discovery because I've been seeing this thing forever. So yeah, settings are changed. So anyone who happens to, anyone whose places I've visited, we're on BattleNet as long as you haven't taken me off, and if you want to check it out, have at it. It's all good. But let's head over. Number 10. Yeah, I was very surprised. Oh, wow, I'm done. Those statues, they take up a lot, man. Like 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So, alrighty. So, I'm not starting yet, but I'm just kind of commentating. I remind myself just who my audience is. The people who sign up for like visits and stuff. We are the 5%, something like that. We are the housing fans, the people that just gush over this stuff, who really enjoy it as content and all that. Um, and so when we see something like this from the outside, people will be like, "Oh my God, look at all these people who are like paying premium for this stuff." Oh, rubble, rubble, rubble. Um, and of course, I'm like, it's your money. You can do what you want with it, with this dude. Um, and so like this week at least, we've seen like maybe like a third, 4 or 5 houses now that are using like the premium skin. So it's kind of interesting. Again, that our audience is like pretty skewed. You can visit. You don't need an account or nothing. You just make a character on US Realms, and you're good to go. That's it. So you can just go to your BattleNet page and just make a US account, and go. That's what I do. Whenever I do EU visits, I just hop onto a trial character, and then you can still do the same thing. You can just change click on anyone in your US BattleNet list, and they all just show up. So, yeah. Anyone else if the maps for decor placement are off? Yeah, for me it's off. I think I had like 15 or 16 budget left, but it said that I can't place anymore. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess the math's off somewhere. But there's no way I'll know which which thing is off or not. So, oh well. All right. I think we're ready to begin. Hard drive space is good. All right, folks, this is Mystic Lady's house. We're over in Razorwind, and I think we've seen a number of other places that are using the premium skin, but I'm not sure if we've seen one inside Razorwind yet. But I think like the way that the color scheme blends together with helping this house work, I think this works out pretty well. Now, what's surrounding the house, like here's the lot and everything, wagon on the side, and I think we have like a gnome that's like hanging out and doing their thing, right? Yes, yes, there is. Now it's also suspicious because the gnome is using fell chains, or the swing is using fell chains. So, is this a good guy? I don't know. We've seen all sorts of weird things happening with gnomes, though. A lot of the times they're being victimized, unfortunately. But we'll see how it goes here. Now, spread across, we have what looks like places to tell us where the borders of the lot is. Because one corner, two corner, three corner, right over there, that's what it's telling me. Just so they know exactly where things are. So, plenty of space, an opportunity for more things, but it looks like things have been spent here, right up front. So we got a whole family of Merkles who are like chilling, hanging out in their private fountain. Good for them. Right up front here, a little bit of work stuff happening. So gnome, little garden gnomes, they're doing their thing. Right behind it, lots of greens. They're chilling on their own like table slash bench. But this house gives us also the opportunity to like check out what they have on these upper levels. I was going to say upper decks or whatnot. So I usually see like pretty minimalistic work that's being done up here, which seems fine. Some stuff is like laid down here, but here a little bit more work. So they made their own kind of like bookshelf space for things. Actually, it would be, yeah, I think it would be prudent if they're going to put bookshelves, they're definitely going to be using something that's a low budget, given what we have to work with right now. Well, let's climb up. And again, kind of cool that there's an opportunity to like lay some extra stuff down, but also it's a little challenging for the budget. And that takes up the top. Yay. Can I just jump down? I can't just jump down. Whee. Note here, we also have like these blushed stones, these new kinds of walking stones to lead us inside. And let's see what we got. My gnome being carried off by Murloc porch pirates. All right. Ooh, pretty. So this is the shot as soon as we walk in. Very busy, super green, right? We have a certain kind of purplish color scheme as we come in. We see a familiar style of window where we have, I don't know what the style is called, sorry, but you have your big opening, plus you have like your kind of like natural, this natural cross looking shape over there. And it's just such a visual feast already. There's a lot to look at, from like that little working area to a place to sit, dine, look at cool stuff. I think there's a bed right there as well. And then across the way looks like a kitchen area, plus one more place to relax by that fireplace. Okay, so this is a lot. This is a lot in what looks to be just like a small size room. So as soon as we walk in, ooh, even the entrance, wow. So what they did here, they set up like a small light box or a small like outdoor box. it's pretty cramped. They only gave themselves like as much room as they could figure themselves out for. Added some greens so we can have like this outdoor illusion of them coming in. The glows are coming in, looks fantastic, but also we have a lot of added lights. It almost looks like, okay, actually this one is just hanging off of there. At first I thought this light here was hanging off of this tree here. It is not the case. Really pretty though. Place to sit, lay stuff down. Yeah, so I'm gonna be just chilling here, right? And then as people are walking, hey, what's up? What's up, buddy? What's up, Jessica? Hey, how you going? How's things going, Frank? Oh, it's all good. Have yourself a drink. Enjoy yourself while you're here. Yeah, lots of details. Very filled out. Windows, greens, trellis, top bench, top shelf. Yeah, very, very filled out. Now let's examine each corner of this place because, damn, damn. Now, here's this very unique looking fireplace setup. Now, what's interesting here is like how bright it is. We have like the Herondar greens that are behind the fireplace. So it has like a certain glow to it. And I find that very fascinating. On the sides, we have like those elven shelves painted white, dolled up with different knickknacks, giving it that whole lived-in feel. Big old Nixie head, gross, but that's all right. Yeah, really, really pretty stuff. I think is that like an additional bench down there too? I think that might be a bench. No, that's just the bottom of the bookcase. Okay, so I thought there was yeah, I thought they added like even more detail to it. I'm like, oh, holy moly. Yeah, very, very pretty corner. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that here too, because like the detail here is just crazy. So we'll go into like this little carve out room here. Boom, here's like the nap room, I suppose. But yeah, really small space. Now, very interesting that they use these not exactly as windows. These are just used as like glowy ornaments, more than anything. Because they're not trying to make it look like a window at all. But it ends up just having like this really soft glow. Very bright, but also kind of soft. The outside of it though, wow, man, that's crazy. And it's not like it's a lot of most of the work is the greens up top, spilling down some. You can like roses are just kind of like sprouting out from these lampposts that are acting as additional trees, and it gives us that like additional glow. I gotta say though, like the nets, they still turn me off though, man. Like I hope Blizzard comes out with like something else, because I know what they're trying to do here. They're trying to make like this sort of barrier of sorts. I think a trellis would be too much. It would be like too thick. But at the same time, something like this, I don't know, it feels like it distracts too much. And maybe it's because of like the whole size of it. It ends up feeling like a bit of a distraction. It's like we have all these pretty colors, and then we got like this brown net looking thing. That it doesn't ruin it, but I can't help but be distracted by it. Now, something like this, though, kind of a different story. So here we have what is not an aquarium. So this is like a whole outdoor illusion. And I think this will be like the shot that we set up here. Really, really pretty. And what we have here, in lieu, instead of like trying to create like the whole glass kind of feel, they used a shroud. So I'm pretty sure that there is a shroud that's here, that's given like that little bit of texture. And then of course, behind here we have like, I'm sure we got like rugs and other such things to create the outdoor illusion. But of course, lots of lights too. I think we saw like, yeah, there's a Dranithus light over there to give us like that purple glow. We also have the moon well to not give lighting, but it might be a greater moon well actually. That's given us some of that glow that pops out. You can see how it bounces off like the trees and some of the flowers over there. Yeah, that kind of works out too. Love the shaping though. Boom, boom, boom. Lots of these rounded elven tables right under the doorway, because it's a great natural shape that's already there. And then just a beam. Boom. Beam, cushions, dressed with more greens that are spilling like from this top corner here and coming right down. Nice. Now here's a more basic setup, right? We do have a tree that's up here, um, to help round out the corner. And there's not a care in the world that the books are fused with the tree. Not a huge deal. Maybe a slight distraction, but it's not the end of the world. But then they brought that together so they can get these two bookshelves to kind of come together in kind of a clean way. And otherwise, table, chairs, stuff, all good. We'll go there later. I feel like we should go there later. And then in this corner, we have some functionality. Oop. Well, kind of a fun station. Yeah, so here we go. Let me pull back a little bit. Here's where we can like do some work. I don't know how you would get anything done though, because here you are, totally open air, doing my work, but I'm being distracted by like whatever the heck activity is here. So if there's people here, it's like, okay, good luck getting into the zone, or they must have incredible focus, so good on them. So, all right, so let's go across here. I think we've seen just about everything in this room at least. Yeah, really, really pretty setup. Crazy. But now let's go into this kitchen. This is a huge kitchen. Wow. There's a lot here. So as we go in to this kitchen spot, dude, okay, let me just do a lap real quick. Just kind of soak in everything. And then we'll start looking at everything else. Wow, dude. So, yeah, this feels like this is the kind of kitchen you like live in. You can spend like your whole day here doing stuff, like, because that's crazy, dude. Okay, so I'll start with like this spot here. Notice how we have like this sort of like rounded shelf setup. It's a lot of clipping, but that's okay. Because there's not much we can do about it. Like, I don't know how we can overcome that without using a lot of kit bashing. And this is just cheaper to put together. Otherwise, we would have to like create like this sort of like curvature around here, make door handles and all that stuff. And not a big deal. I think we can kind of forgive that. But notice here we have like the trellis as the backboard, just to kind of fill out more space. And we see a lot of that throughout the house. This is no exception. Even here, like they filled out a little bit more space with like this, they use this as like an additional pillar. I don't know if it would be a better idea to use like the browner color to kind of like let it flow in, but whatever, that's not a big deal. Very bright in here. Huge books right here in the center. Kind of a similar setup here, along with like a little display case for like drinks and pies and snackies and whatnot. But over here, oh, pretty. Check out how they use paintings as kind of like the backdrop. Kind of the backboard of the shelf work here. Really nice. Yeah, it's such a solid shape that they put together. Like super custom stuff. Shelves at the bottom. Shelves up top. Smaller shelves, cabinets. So like it's kind of hard to do it, but just try to like strip away like all the knickknacks, and then focus on just like the big pieces of decor that are used to first put this together. Like that's kind of the secret. Fill all that stuff out, so that way all the walls are filled with these big shapes. Then you can put in like the little knickknacks, the cups, the other paintings and whatnot, and that'll work out for you. Like, so, it pays off really well. Now, kind of interesting that this is a raised, that this shelf happens to be raised, and then there's like nothing down there. That's kind of different looking, but I think it's because like those are just shaped like that. And it just happens to have like that kind of like open, yeah, it just happens to be open there. Actually, I think those are, what are those? It is, okay, it's a nightstand. So that's why you can see how it has like these little feet on it. But as for the rest of the spread, once you're done with the general shaping, you just start filling things out. Books and more books eggs, plants, flowers, all that stuff. You know, things to really bring this place to life. Kind of funny, even the even the stove, or I'm sorry, even the cauldron back here behind that, more painting stuffs. Love how these colors come together too. And then once again, you know, work on like getting like the whole shaping together, fill out the walls, and then the rest just kind of like does itself eventually. So I think we have like some, yeah, we have some shelf work here. I think there was one here. I think there was one here. I doubt there's any actual secrets back here. Yeah. It's all just meant to like save on a little bit of budget and claw some space back. Anything in here in the fridge? Yeah, we do. Ice stuff, eggies. Very cool. Then here on the other side, that's the, this is like completing that whole bend. Let's go through here because I think we're going outside now. So over there, yeah, the whole window set up. Like the skylights right over there. But now we're going into, well, again, appears it's going to be like an outdoor area. Maybe that's a pantry. No, maybe not so much a pantry. Maybe it's more like stuff that they just got and they just processed and now it becomes part of the pantry. So nice setup that they have there. But let's make our way outside. Past one closet. Interesting wallpaper. A very interesting use of wallpaper here. But now we're coming out. Actually, this is a closet area, but now we're crossing over to the outside. And we'll just kind of like back out from here. And we're in a giant tree. Nice. Very similar to what we've seen in like different kinds of builds where we're coming out, but great illusion that's being set up here. Really smart. Because it looks like they made sure like the bottom of the tree is a little bit obscured, but now it just like totally comes out like this. Nice. Very nice. Let's try and see what else we got. More trees. Oh, the acacias are just like all over the place, dude. Wow. Oh, that's crazy. That's very unique. I like this. You know, we're still keeping the illusion and everything, but now it has like this whole feel of the acacias just like all over the place. That's neat. It's very, very neat. And it looks like some of these come together as like these sort of portal-like structures that they wanted to have set up. But let's start from here again, and you know we'll just we'll go around. A lot of Herondar looking stuff on the side. It's like this. To me, this feels like a big assortment of stuff. As for if it tells a certain story of some sorts, not exactly, but it feels like this kind of like Emerald Dream Market. So we have folks that are coming in from different spaces, right? So here's like coming from Trollville, and then this one is coming from gnome stuff. Here is this meant to be a portal too? I have no idea. But that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting here. So it feels like a gathering of sorts. Big old potluck, big old festival of cultural festival. Everyone's coming together, having a good time, sharing stuff, trading, in fact. Neat. But yeah, I love the work with the acacias because it has like this whole kind of like dome shape to it. Let me do the zoom out here if I can, because all the acacias are kind of in the way too. Yeah. So it feels like this kind of dome shape that was made here. That's neat. I like that. Any other little details that I want to point out? A little basketball hoop there on the side. There's not a gnome in that cauldron, right? Okay, yeah. So we're fine. No twist, no violence quite yet. But we'll get there. We usually do. So we're gonna retreat back. We're going back into the main room now. Dude, I just love like there's just like so much placement, so much color. It's almost overwhelming. All right, so we're going into the other side now. So here, far fewer greens in this spot, but this feels also like a working room. But we also have some really cool color setups. Ooh. So check out this setup right here. Lots of like lavendery kinds of things. Or yeah, so we have like different kinds of glows and lights that are coming in to make these very, very pretty colors. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do like the breakdown because I think there's at least like a shroud in front of here that might be getting in the way. Yeah, so we have like the sky banners. Like I can tell that. There's like one rug. I don't think I'll be able to do a mouse over, but I'm pretty sure that's like one of those glowy windows that are helping to produce that gradient effect. You know, it's not giving us a very clear image of like, okay, is that the sun or something like that? But that's okay. And I think up here we have like some filigree lights. I think so. Yeah, so some filigrees are up there too to give us that blue. So this is a really cool blending of colors. Very, very pretty. Now, as for how that kind of comes together as like a window, I don't know. Because look, there's like stuff behind this, but it's okay. It's just pretty, right? It's magic. Pretend this is a portal to like Narnia or something like that, and we could be cool with that. But it is very pretty. Credit where it's due. So workbench right over here, massive workbench, actually so massive that it's like, how do you work? So here's me, and here's me sitting, but then there's the work up there. So it's more like I got to use this to like jump up on. Giants work at this spot, but it's a pretty impressive, pretty large array. You know, big mirrors right there too. So you got to work. You got to use one of the gnomish devices to like make yourself huge first. And this happens to be a bathroom too. Interesting. So here we are. I didn't realize this is a bathroom because that's odd. You know what this is? It's the kind of workstation where it's like, no, we don't got time for any of that stuff. I'm working. I'm doing stuff. Or if anything, this is like the big vanity. Yeah, maybe that's a big vanity. But we're also working here too. Books are out. Uh, you know, clothing, everything. Now, of course, we got the toilets. Hey, arcane toilet paper. I was commenting the other day that we haven't seen a lot of that lately, and there it is again. Now let's take a look at this right here. Another very, very pretty window setup. So first, of course, we got like this grand bathtub. Very cool. We have this whole drain fountain that's doing most of the work. And then over here, once again, we have like the gradients, and as well as that very suspicious object. This is Replica's Sky Hope. Now, I look at this, and at first I think it's got like an old god vibe to it, right? That's what I'm thinking, because it looks like a little crystal thing that has like little, I don't know, little creatures inside, and that's kind of like creepy, but still very pretty. As for what's back here, now this one looks a little bit more clear. This looks like, you know, we have one big rug, and it's very clear that we have like two of those ochre kinds of windows. The glow is like spilling through, and that's what's giving us that gradient. And of course, we have this the stars, the star banner. Now, I think that was similar to what we saw here. It's just a little bit harder to tell. But here it's more clear, but very cool effect. Also very easy to pull off too. Just one rug of the color of your choice. You are kind of stuck with the colors of these glows. There isn't a whole lot of like customization to that at the moment. It'd be great if we can like dye some of these effects. That way we can have like different sorts of glows. Like if we wanted like a fell green glow gradient, maybe that could be possible. And that would be kind of fun to put together. There could be a lot of that would inspire like a lot of different builds. So let's back out from the beautiful bathtub. All right. Let's see what else we have above us and around us. Yeah, it's a very like grand looking like bathroom / living space. And there was a bed that was here in the first room on the side. So actually it was more like there. So kind of irregular. But now we got to see what's behind this portal guy over here. Where will adventure take us this time? It's going to take us to Oh, okay. I was totally anticipating like a whole vibe shift, but now we're seeing. Now it feels like we're in like this gnomish land, right? Gnomes come from eggs, obviously. That's how it works. And then here's like one dude who's like, hey, what are you doing here? Like, yo, I'm just here because I'm on a visit. So I'm just checking things out. But of course, I'm sure they're very suspicious of us. Now, super bright spot here. All these windows are just blasting at us, really brightening up the space. Turns out pretty. Lots of Herondar stuff. Love the look of that stuff. For people who are big fans of greens, just invest in the Herondar. Big stonks there. We go across, we see some more familiar greens, Arkandor stuff from Founder's Point and all that. Things to, and the quick story here is, these gnomes seem to be helping with like growing stuff. And we're thriving. Nice and bright. So let's go through, we're kind of crossing through here. And now we have, right over here, a nice observation spot. So now we're in like we went through a portal, so now we can cheat. Now we're in a different like planet universe or whatever. So moon's over here, that's fine. Totally fine. I think there's like a little constellation set up there. Yeah, those are goblin lights that are acting as stars. That's very meticulous on the placement too. You got to line those up like just right, just so you can display more of those lights. That's neat. Now here, there's no gradients. It's just black. It's just a mostly darkened sky, but I think it's using like a deeper purple to pull that off. I think I can hover over it. Nope, the net is in the way. I'm trying to not hold a grudge against these nets. All right, so we'll kind of like pan out a little bit. Yeah, really pretty. Really deep on the colors. Now here's like a different contrast. Now this is not an aquarium of sorts, but like here's the shot. Because we can see like you can see like kind of like the stone walls there. So let's stick with this shot here. So I don't know. I'm getting this kind of magic mirror sort of vibe, this sort of Disney vibe. So here's them. Here's WoW bringing Disney into the game. Oh, we got the Beauty and the Beast looking stuff. We have this magic mirror. So it's really given like these sort of like Disney reference vibes. All right, so we go around, and all of a sudden we have like some Pandaren stuff and a place to just suddenly eat. And we're in a different universe as far as we know, or a different house. And holy cow. Sheesh. There's just a lot here, dude. It's like every corner has this wild collection of stuff. It's hard to react to all this. There's just there's just so much visually. It's hard to soak it all in, dude. So we're in, oh wow, pretty. So we're in a stairwell room. It's going up one level. Kind of interesting that it's using the Orgrimmar style. But then up top, they set up a whole bunch of stars. More stars, constellation kinds of stuff. You can kind of see the like some of the greens, the fell candles. You can see once again the goblin string lights that are up there too. But back here, I guess we're just gonna do like one corner at a time, right? Deep red walls back here instead. Kind of a contrast from the. It's fun. It's kind of funny. You have like these textured rocky walls, but they're flat. But then here you have this nice solid color, but it also has like zero texture to it. It's just like the solid color outside of the lighting effects. But then we got this kind of like rainbow flag reference right up here. Cute. And also down here, this sort of inaccessible kitchen ish area. So let me just jump over. Oh, and then well, okay, actually maybe not a kitchen, more like just like a workstation of sorts. Because while there is some food to be served and prepped here, we've got the grills going and everything, there's like blacksmithing stuff happening over there. Can you explain this for us, Miss Merkel? And she's like, what are you talking about? Look at the aquarium. Okay. So here we have an aquarium. Let me try to jump up here. And what kind of fishies do we have in here? So, okay, this is weird. That's like a gnome fish. No, it's just one of those like, I think we need to forget that that's a gnome egg and just accept that it's like this, one of those weirdly multicolored fish. That's neat. If we look at it like that. And at least we have like some controls for the aquarium too. Make sure that the water is regulated, all the pH is balanced and everything. Okay, so this so this happens to be the bottom of the stairwell room. We're eating, doing stuff. Yeah, kind of funny. We have like some retail work here with the check-in desk, but a couple of places to eat. All standing room only, by the way. You got like one little chair. That's about it. Let's make our way up. Bookcases, bookcases, bookcases. Like I was like, one of the big takeaways here from this build to really pay attention to, folks, is just how much effort that they put into filling up these walls. It really pays off. So like, for example, this wall not really filled out, which is fine. It looks cool. It has stuff, there are things there. But boy, when you look at some of these other wall setups and everything, you can see just like how detailed it looks. Looks great. So let's make our way back up again. Up, up, up. Past the baby wagon. Ooh. Okay, now that's creepy. Oh, that's a really cool reference. Very, very cool. I gotta look at this. So, what do we got? Of course, we got like Herondar stuff, right? But it's cool that they're using the animations here. Like, this ain't food, buddy. And then this is just a bowl. Oh, that's really good. Yo, use this as a takeaway, guys. If you want to replicate the Nozothai, pigment bowl, easy to get. Cauldron, also easy to get. And then just use what, like a walking stone or something? Yeah, we just have a walking stone. There you have your slit. Excellent. Oh, that's good. Really good job with that one. What else do we have in this corner? We have some lights. I don't know why, but we got this nice like glowy setup, super bright painting. I think a lot of the lighting is coming from, or a lot of the glows is probably coming from this lamp here, unless there's like another source I'm not really aware of. And then lights up here too. Interesting. Oh, check this out. Another kind of like retail bar spot. And now we have a different sort of glow setup. So let me kind of jump up here. So you can kind of see here, we just have, in this case, all we have is what looks like an orange rug and then just some lighting effects to create that sort of gradient. So it's just shining on top of the rug, making that brighter. And then you can see the contrasting in the shadows below it. Nice and simple. It's just something that seems to, I don't know if they purposely put anything there, but ends up really looking really pretty. Niffin arch plus acacia trees once again to round things out. Yeah, this is a cool bar setup. Never mind like how some of the clipping happens with these bar shelves. Like, this looks great. Now, don't get those books over there. That's incredibly unsafe. But it's okay. You just gotta ask someone with magical powers to like pick that up for you. Like, hey, thanks. Oh, and then check this out. Let me turn on these glows. Wine. Okay, dude, this is the club, right? This is a bit too festive. Oh man. But I love like how they just put like all these different colors together. I would say, oh, dude, this almost clashes. No, but it's just so busy that it becomes like this visual feast. It's very neat. Let's go into this room now. Kind of this medium-sized room-ish. And we have what feels like multiple workstations of sorts. Stuff is happening in each of these booths, mixing things together, turning stuff on. Like, yeah, so let me turn all these on too. Because again, there's just like so much color that pops in here, man. Oh, sheesh. Now this is neat. So here it looks like they're using different kinds of flickering style lights. And as for these, I think these are like different kinds of moonwell lights that are being pointed down, but they're pointed down in a diagonal fashion. So it feels really natural. Now, this is also kind of like scary. It almost looks like just outside, everything's on fire, which could be the case. Like, uh-oh. But man, just look at how filled up this place is. Boy, this must have taken like an hour to put together. That's just wild. Wild setup. It's hard to comment on everything. There's just so much. Well, let's transition over here. So notice how we're kind of like walking on top of this gazebo, this void gazebo of sorts. These things are just kind of being used as pillars. Who cares about the clipping at this point? This is just, yeah, it's just crazy. So let's climb out above the little branding here. But what do we have? Oh, okay, we're not outside. Dude, it totally felt like we were going outside with the way that this is all coming together. But no, we're going into like this large octagonal room instead. And here's what's interesting too. So we have like this sort of water flow that's going here. And they're using, curious use, they're using these shrouds, these blue shrouds as like kinds of streaks to, I don't know, maybe give more texture to the water, have it have the sort of animated feel of an ebb and flow of the water. It's kind of a canal that's being set up here. Kind of leads from one side to the other. So anyway, big old not skybox room, big old octagonal room, and then they carved out, you know, some shapes here to create this sort of like interior area. This is a very expensive set of steps, natural looking steps, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, as we climb up like these upside down acacia trees, from what it looks like. Or, okay, I'm not sure if they're acacias actually, but they're trees of some sort. Greenhouse under here. And what do we have? It's kind of like Troll Loa effigy, but not even that. It's a place to sleep. So strong troll slash Herondar vibes here. Maybe more troll stuff than anything. Big old tree as a centerpiece. There is I think these are meant to be bugs. Caterpillars or something like that. Maybe that's what that's supposed to be. Because yeah, they're not clickable. So I can't like sit on those. So I feel like those are like little bugs of some sort. Oh, neat. All right, and then that's where I came from. Okay. That's like the river stuff. Okay. Let me make sure I got my orientation right, because I kind of did a lap, then I turned around. So here's like so this happens to be a gnome house, is what they intended here. Actually, can I climb up? No, I can't climb up this. Oh no. it's just an illusion. Okay, so that's their kingdom. I'm not going to encroach on that. That was the place where we were sleeping. Here we have like a little night well, a little place for Miss Murgle. Hey, what's up? She's reading a giant book. Holy moly. And what's in here? Oh, flower stuffs. And finally, we have like this kind of sort of workshop that will take us nowhere. Those are just glowies. But then that would be a portal that takes us somewhere else. So it's as if this portal would take us to like that one area where we saw like the whole gathering of different races or different cultures. And this looks really neat too. So what is this actually? So we have the Niffin Arch, we have the fountain, but then what's behind here? A bird bath. Huh. So it's this right here. So we're getting this effect as a background for this fountain. Huh. Interesting. All right, so I think we made our way I think we've gone all the way around. Uh, have I seen everything? Let me see. Don't miss the starry night sky in the library, they said. I did not miss it. But boy, there was like just so much that this feels overwhelming. It's like huge bits of real estate here. Now, I was commenting earlier about like the build that I have. It's like, oh man, I ran out of budget and blah 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 blah. But I know why. Like I just took up a lot of budget with things like beams and greens or whatnot. Here though, we see a great demonstration of what I think is using decor that actually like I for me it feels like a better use of budget. You know, because here spaces are just like so filled out. You know, larger pieces that help to create to initially like frame everything, and then they put in like the finer details. You know, so it's like the first step is okay, get your layout in. Next step is to fill it out with like these bigger shapes, then put in like those little tiny details. Because folks like me, like I'll end up taking up a lot of budget because I'm making like a couple of hundred greens in like one room for whatever reason. Here, it's fewer, but instead we have like these large pieces that end up filling out walls and ceilings and floors and everything. And what we get is, you know, again, this very filled out house. I really hope I saw everything because yeah, let me do a quick lap. All right. So we start here. All right. We're going to jog. So there's medium sized room here. We have this room here. We have this one that takes us outside. So we went to those spots. All right. Let's keep going. So we got these here. Boop. And then the stairwell. There's only one way to go from here. Up. Then we get to like this kind of L shape or smaller room, and then the octagonal room. And I don't think there's any. Let me just try to go in a straight line. Okay, so nothing there. And I guess I didn't try walking through here yet. Nope. Yeah, nothing there. And I doubt I can walk through that. Yeah. And then I'll go through this end here, which I don't see anything unless this is a boop. Nope. I think we've seen everything. All right. Fantastic build. Oh man. Like I said, it's a great use of using larger pieces to fill out space. And what we get is it's just this feast. Great build. Killer start. All right. Boop. Someone was asking if we've seen this place before, or if we've seen something like this before. I don't think we have. No, this is a new person. Yeah, this is their first rodeo here. All right. Insane. I find it interesting is how everything flows together. It's not a cluttered look at all. It just seems so affluent and real. Well, for me, it's the good kind of clutter. It has a very, you know how things look kind of corporate. It's like, okay, I want to have everything look a certain way and all that. Here, it tells the story of um, a place that's, you know, hey, here's their place, and then they built extensions, and then they built extensions, and then they built extensions and whatnot. So, all right. I don't know. To me, it's good clutter. And that's all. That's the only way I can really measure it. Clutter or good clutter. I don't know. That's kind of all I got. Say filled in. Say lots of things. All right. Oh, what a cool hat. All right. That's the right spot, right? This is Super Weenie Hut Juniors. Cool. What a name for a neighborhood, by the way. All right, folks, this is Aragosa's place. We're over in Razorwind, right? We're over in Razorwind. Sometimes I forget. And I'm first directed to like this. Okay, overall, it's a very eclectic use. Maybe that's the right word. Of it's a very wild assortment of like branding that we see here. Bunch of the warglaves that are there. But I'm also looking at the hat. I can't help but call it a hat. Right up top is this big old Herondar piece here that's acting as, again, a hat. What is this exactly again? I forgot what this is. It's just a big mushroom. So it's basically the equivalent of like a tree of sorts. Cute. Well, let's take a closer look at what we have here. Since the entrance is just kind of screaming at us. So what do we have? We have a Reptar and a Snuffles that are flying their kites, having fun, having a good time. We have this this throne where we can like sing and drink and like just have a good time. Not to say that this is messy, but it almost looks like they put out stuff as like, hey, let's have like a garage sale. Can we just put some stuff out and see if anyone's interested in picking anything up? Yes, no, maybe. But we have like these very interesting assortments. Many fountains put together. We have a lot of folks who are crowded around like this tiny table, all staring at stuff. We're not really looking, we're looking at, we're bird watching in this case. Yeah. Let's go with that. And let's do a lap around. Let's take a look at what else we've got. So this tells me, they wanted to place a lot of stuff around, give the place this very lived-in sort of look. Hey, we're collectors. This is what we want. These are the cool things that I want to show off to like friends and buddies. But if people want to sleep outside, sure, go ahead. Several canoes. So they must be big on fishing and whatnot. How far are we from the water, actually? We are not far from the water at all. Nice. So then we back up here, and this is how we're entranced in. Again, we got like this kind of warglaive branding. Some banner work. Dragon staring down at us. And then we'll portal our way in. This might be fun. Let's see what we got. In 2 minutes. Because I kind of forgot that I want to check for new stuff. You know how that is. All right, so let me have that going. There is a Blizzard created. Oh, did I miss something? It's not often that I've checked the top of these Orgrimmar, these orcish houses. Oop. Okay, so up top here. Okay, there's no top. Okay, we're all good. Just the hat. that was the big thing. All right. So real quick, like I'm trying to reach out to other. Okay. First off, next Wednesday, just so y'all know, next Wednesday, I'm going to be featured on the Warcraft Twitch channel. So that's why next week there are going to be 20 visits, or approximately 20 visits that we do. We're going to have our normal, we have our regular 15. Cool. But then next Wednesday from 3 to 6 p.m., I have a number of, well, curated visits that we have set up. There were requirements that we needed to do. So I do know I do know a lot of what's already in those builds because I had to inspect them basically for like um, not quality, but it has to be pretty safe for work and all that. Um, but we'll be taking a look at 5 houses. Some of them are from the Cozy Keep community, and the one is one that I kind of handpicked as like, okay, here's kind of a different place that I wanted to have included in the lineup for fun. But I'm also reaching out to other communities too. So there's the Cozy Keep, and there's some other large ones, but I'm also trying to find small ones too. Basically, guilds and communities who are trying to recruit and try to grow and all that, because I see two kinds of folks. There are folks that are looking to grow their community, and then I see other folks who are like, "Oh, my neighborhood's dead. I need a solution for that," and so I want to help point people in the right direction or a different direction, because there are really large ones out there, but I want to put a spotlight on others as well. So in the near future, I'm still trying to put this together in the background. I want to do what I did with the Cozy Keep, but kind of on a smaller level. I want to get like 5 places from like these folks and be like, all right, we're going to have a day of visits and we'll take a look at your guys' places. And then, so 5 of them will be from these communities, the other 10 will be the usual signups. So I'm trying to achieve that sort of balance of showcasing folks who want to sign up and show off their stuff, and also put a spotlight on these communities so that way people can find places to go. So that's fun, and that's why you haven't seen a whole lot of video stuff from me lately. I've been trying to do a lot of that stuff in the background. So oh well. And let me double check one more time for news things. Nothing. Okay, cool. Yay! Now we can resume. So as soon as we go inside, we're presented with a dedication to the first family. Hey, what's up? And a lot of Anixia heads. I have a good feeling that I know what kind of house we're getting into. You notice how we're on this vaulted ceiling, which makes room for this whole gallery of stuff. We first come in, we're portaled in. There's no room for anything. Rugs are laid out. That's about it. Wipe your feet. That's the message that I'm getting. But we enter this octagonal room, quite spacious, lots of room to like add more stuff. But what we have here first is like just this collection of things. All the stuff that's being stacked onto those shelves, being stacked one on top of another. Treasures up top. Like I said, there's like Anixia heads. And for all we know, that's a security system. You try to get up there, and you try to climb up or something like that, and all of a sudden those Anixia heads, they activate and they just burninates the crap out of those who dare try to loot stuff. Something like that. But there are little knickknacks that people can just take if they wanted to like loot the place. All right, so we're invited to go that way or this way. Let's go. Forehead. Brilliant. Brilliant. All right, so in we go. All right. Interesting setup. Now I'm going to say outright, I'm feeling, how do I word this best? It feels like we're seeing a reflection of the builder's experience. And I have a feeling this is just kind of like an early, this is us trying out housing. I feel like. And I don't want to say this is bad at all. I don't think this is bad because I think there are a lot of ideas that are, when we try out housing, we just want to try all sorts of different things. I feel like now I might be wrong. I might go through the rest of this place and I'm going to be like, oh my God, what the hell did they put together? This is crazy. But I also have seen quite a few places where it's like, okay, it does feel clear. Like, okay, we're just getting started with the whole housing experience and what we want to put together. And so we're going to see lots of different ideas. So let's try this out, shall we? Right through here, closet space, pantry stuff, storage things, all good. Right out here, we have this like right setup and upside down waterfall setup. Interesting weather effects that are happening here. It almost feels like there's like kind of like a hallway down there because you can see like the beam work that's being done there and there, and you can see like how the water flows in like those different directions. Or we could say that these are just like intense weather effects of some sort. Like we have a very intense setup here with like with the rugs. You can see how they're like being set up in all these different ways. And you can, like for example, in a room like this, which happens to be narrow, one cheap option to use would be the razor wind fountain, because with the razor wind fountain you can just take two pieces and then boom, you're done. Which might be a little bit more expensive than this, but I think you could probably get away with using one of them and you can save on a little bit of budget and still achieve like a similar effect, because here you can see like overlap, overlap, overlap. And you could probably save on some budget by limiting the use of these rugs. Now, in the 1207 patch, there is going to be a new kind of rug that comes in that's square. So it'll be easier to line those things up. That's going to be hugely helpful. I'm digging the experimentation with like some of the dyes here as well. All right, so let's go. Yeah, portal room's that way. Now we're going this way. And what do we have here? There's the boss. Hey, what's up, boss? Kind of a stagey area there. We have feeding birds. We're feeding birds. And over here, another sort of, not treasure, but this is more like the funny kind of like stable area. So at some point, horses, animals of some sorts are being taken care of. And then all of a sudden, laundry room. Now, a lot of pieces are going into this spot. Now, that's a very suspicious shine. I think that this is a... why is that shinier than normal? It's because that is... oh, it's a door. That's why. So I hit that. Boom. So they put in the shine. Like, never mind this. Oh, I can't close it anymore. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so they wanted to put in that sort of shine. Nice and cheap way of doing that, by the way. That's a very cheap way of doing it. There are other straight edges you can use, like the canvas painting, but those cost like $1,500 a pop, and that's quite cost prohibitive. So this is a very easy way of doing it too. Just size it the right way, and you're good to go. But yeah, it's just like all carved out, nice and neat. Very suspicious shroud. But we also have here in the stairwell room lots of like sticking out shapes. I'm curious what's going on there. Well, let's do this climb first. Actually, let me weave around here. Suddenly bed. Hello to Miss Merkel. All right. So here is. Oop. Uh-oh. Okay, so wait, what happened? I think what's happening here is somehow I'm too tall. Yeah, so we're stuck there, but now we can make the climb up. Oh, okay, so wow, this is... ooh, what a fun house. Okay, so we climb up here. It's partial curve. Then we go up here. You know, this is somehow charming. I'm actually charmed by this stair work here. All right, so we made it. And then there's a door here too. Okay. All right. So where are we now? Okay, more stair. Oh boy. Oh boy. Whew. Okay, so in my efforts to not be disoriented, let's go this way first. All right. So in this spot, game space. There we go. Chill spot. Who are we hanging out with? Lions and puppy right over there. The other animals, the wild animals downstairs. The domesticated folks all up here. Oh, this is interesting. We're actually in a stairwell room again. Although I'm not quite sure, because we have floors that are below us. We have lots of rugs above us as well. Very bright up here too. So in this bedroom, what else we got? We have like double cushions on the couches. Interesting. TV setup is neat. I mean, we have like the portrait setup, but it's like a double portrait. So we got one up top, yeah, one that's up front, and that's been dyed. We have another one that's been flipped backwards, that's acting as like this bigger frame, and then we have like this upside down wall shelf, merp like that, to being hold that's there to like hold up some additional like candle work and whatnot. Every door is a surprise. Like I don't know what to expect next, but here we at least have a fun toilet. Yay! Legs dangling, all good. Arcane toilet paper, always a +1. Very nice. Well, let's make our way through, past the flowers that they had set up, and that's not a door. All right. Surprise! Wait, is this a jumping puzzle that we have right here? Hold up. So, suddenly jumping puzzle. At least that's how it looks to me. Or at least I want to jump up here. Yeah, I am compelled, but this is very difficult actually. Oh, oh. Okay, I think the boss is like moving stuff. Well, I'll at least peek at what's up here, because it looks like it's mostly like this kind of upper loft area that they are showing off. All right. I don't know if it paths anywhere though. Maybe, maybe not. Boop, boop, boop. Yep, no hope for the lowly paladin. Yep, sorry. All right. So let's retreat though, because it doesn't look like it doesn't lead to any rooms, so that's okay. All right, so that was the bathroom spot. So we're still up on this floor. It's because I'm a male tune? No way, dude. This is not a sexist house, is it? What do we have up here? Feels like some profession-y kinds of things that are happening here. A little bit of experimentation. A little bit of different work going on here. But it also shows the extent of the collections that that players have. Like I'm not sure where those scales. Oh, I'm sure they come from Voidstorm, but I don't think I've seen those scales yet. All right, so let's go up this secret shelf, and up here into. Oh boy, we're going. That's a lot of tables that we're gonna be climbing, dude. Oh, this is just wild. Okay, so let's go up. Okay, walk check is good. We'd be climbing tables and more tables. You ran out of decor budget. Here's the so there isn't much. It's all right. We're climbing, climbing, climbing. We get up here. So we hit what I believe is a dead end. I don't think we can walk through this, right? Oop, yeah. It'll lead somewhere once we get new levels. All right. Now, you did say that your budget is at 43.29, so this place is filled, right? So let's keep exploring, guys. Yeah, we ain't done yet, guys. So that was up here. This is where we were at, where we couldn't climb up any higher. So I think we can retreat down now through the stairs and then through the shroud. Right? So we're at this space. Let's go. Boop. All right, so now we're in this kind of like circular room. And then portal. Oh, wait, is this where we came from? Or is this the spot that we missed? Let me double check. Boop. Nope, different. Sorry. Back here again. We went through the shroud. This appears like we're going inside of another house of sorts, but more like a treasure room. Ah. So here's where I would click and get some power-ups. I like the colors on this one, by the way. Neat colors. Oh, very bright too, with them windows. And then, so there's that portal room, but I want to at least peek here since we only have a shroud. And then there's another door there too. That'll take us maybe outside. So let's go through here and then see what else we have. We have open sky, or at least blue. Back here. Let's now go through this hallway, which seems to be kind of like protected from large aminals, right? We go through, right through, and through, the weather got pretty dusty. And we're not exactly outside. You know, they have a whole bunch of rugs up above. But I'm digging this room. Lots of greens, you know, through this kind of like park-ish area. And what we're seeing lots of different ideas being employed here. You know, they use like the brown rugs to act as dirt instead. So I take us through. Some folks, they'll use lots of greens. They'll use Herondar greens. They'll use this sort of dirt. Here, it's very rare to see like dyed dirt. So I like that we have we can you know, use a little bit of imagination to get us through. But then we're portaled elsewhere. Ramp, you know, we go through this ethereal portal. Oh, God. And then we have all these faces looking at us instead. Notice how we have like all these black floors now. Followed by some empty space. Then we're going through here. I like this. This is a cool like entryway. I dig that. So we're going through here, crowded by like the trees. All of a sudden, we're outside now. Ah, interesting. And there's a whole, okay, yo. So in like one of the previous builds I was in, I was talking about, oh yeah, you know, all these acacia trees, they're kind of coming together and they're sort of meeting here to create a sort of dome shape. Dude, this dude went all in with the dome shape. That's hilarious. So there's this wall of trees that are all coming together and converging in the middle. That's hilarious. That is hella funny. So we go up here in this like wild tree house kind of setup, right? We make our way up. Okay, so we just have like these kind of like balcony setups here. And then I think we just jump down now, right? Yeah, we jump down. Because all this is growing out of the water. And it's just this wild tree setup, dude. Yeah, there's so much going on. Now that's where the budget went. I'm gonna say like the budget went into like, oh gosh, like at least like 40 or so acacia trees or trees of different shapes. That's crazy. All right. So I think we can retreat back now. I think the next spot, we have to go back pretty far, I think. Let's see. Actually, here's next. So here we go. Boop. So now we're in this like magic study room. That's the vibe I'm getting now. And this quite grand bed. We have bed number 1, and then we got rollover bed / bench number 2. A lot of busy work happening. All platonic, by the way. And then here, lots of work being done at this spot, but no AI. I can at least say that. You have the auto reader, maybe, but that's about it. You know, just something that's dictation software. Yeah, but nothing too crazy. Oh, can I click that one too? I don't click that too. Yes. Oh, pretty. There we go. Now we got the full animated pillar setup. Sick. All right, so I think we can retreat back again. So we're going through the shroud. We went through there. There's the boss again. So now we're going to retreat further back. I think I went through here. Yes, that was like the rainy room with the upside down stuff. So now we're going this way. Right? Right. Let's go. I want that horde throne. Oh, just a quick tips and Sensei. When you go into Siege, as you go in, just to the right, there's a scroll you can click on, and that'll take you straight to the end. Boom. Done. I just blew your mind. So we go through here. We're in this transition room. There's another portal. I'm not going to go through there yet. I feel like that's going to totally like shift us over. More trophy setups there. Let's go this way. And now we... Oh, okay. I feel like... Is this like the This Is Fine room? Something like that? Because we have like a bunch of... Okay, these are not cheap. They're not... The framed ones are more expensive, but these aren't cheap either. But yeah, they just have this whole wall of paintings, this whole mural set up, and fire. Somehow that's going to be artsy. I just don't know why. And then through here, some walls are set up here to lots of eggies, lots of raiding has been happening here. And then this place is a trip. This is a trip. And then what do we have here? The Miss Murgles, they're like, I don't know, protesting against the Titans or something like that. But yeah, we have we have the whole Power Ranger team set up. And yeah, and I guess they're revolting. They're revolting against their Titan masters. I feel like. Is it a paint drying room? Sure. Yeah. All right, so I think we're gonna go through I think we're gonna go through that shroud. I'm not shroud, I'm sorry, the portal. You know, I've been liking this. I'll see variations of how this works, but I think the Belmeth beams work best when trying to create an effect like this, where you have like very little clip, so it looks like they're planks. It's hard to pull off. It takes quite a bit of effort to do it. You know, a lot of extra elbow grease, but I think it's worth it. Nice, clean look. So we go under the arch, right through the sewer door, and then that's it. All right. Hidden room on top of Elwyn room. Is that the room that I wasn't able to access? The one that I couldn't jump up to? It was, okay. Because I think otherwise I have seen everything, right? Some cool concepts that are happening here. You know? So I'd say like as you're going through here, choose the things that you like and then see what else you can like build out from it. Because we covered a lot of real estate. You went through your budget. I'd say that tree room, that was a lot. That was definitely a lot of budget. Like I would say like for that tree room, like one tip would be play with the sizes. There's a lot you can do if you embiggen those trees and like try to do something else with it. But also um uh play with I mean, you already have played with advanced mode, but there's just a lot of potential when you use the advanced mode to not just have like things like the trees and whatnot down, but what you can do when you just kind of like reorient the shapes in somewhat different ways. Like in the case of the back to the tree room again, you can end up taking up a lot of space um, and have the kind of shape that you want, but you would save a lot, save on a lot of budget. So. All right. So I have seen everything. Okay, cool. Let me give some thanks really quick. Because I didn't even thank people from yesterday. So let me make sure I do that because I'm a monster. Big thanks to Rakara and to Miss Lilith for subscribing. Thank you to Ravens. Thanks to Sonata for the big 5 gifted, dude. Love that, man. You've been a big supporter. I appreciate it, dude. You're gonna be in Vegas for EDC Electric Dance Competition or Eternal Dude Chicken or yeah. Also, thanks to Mel Venue for the prime. Appreciate it, dude. All right. Let's see. Number 3 is Rob of the Realm. Let's go. Not popping up. Come on, buddy. Okay, that's not good. They're not in Europe, are they? No, they can't be because I already vetted the place. So, yeah, that's weird. Let's see if another one pops up then. Will this one pop up? Okay, that one pops up. Huh, weird. And then this one pops up too. Okay. Actually, I don't know if it's maybe it's a privacy setting because sometimes that will do weird things. But they are online right now. So it's just not popping up. Oh wait, they are in Europe. What the heck? Huh. That's odd. Okay. Well, going to Europe. That's how did I mess that one up? Sheesh. Because I know what this next house is. Hmm. Oh well. I know EU too. Yeah. So 2 people signed up from EU. Yay. So a reminder for those who had asked, like, you can access houses in other regions. You just need to make a character there, and then you're fine. That's all you got to do. You don't need to buy a box. You don't need to have an active subscription. Just have a character there, and you can go. No houses. What the heck? Okay, so I'm weirded out. So let me whisper them real quick. See, this is why I vet through houses first. But then it's weird because I did go through this person's place and it's not showing up. Yeah, weird. I'm still weirded out by the fact that I could have swore this was a US house. Shoot. It was pretty much my first take on housing. No, that's fine. That's very honest. Hopefully I wasn't too honest with my tech when I was calling it out as, oh, this feels like a first time build. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way at all. Or I hope it doesn't come off like that. But I mean, I've seen a lot of places. I can sort of tell. Some folks can be very surprising though. Like the humble brag alert. The Azeroth Interiors house, that was my first build. And now, I tried putting some stuff together. I played around in alpha, beta, and whatnot, but I didn't put anything together until that point. So it was quite surprising. Let's see, they are not. Okay, they're not responding, unfortunately. Um, Still says no houses available. Let me try getting on US realms again. Because yeah, this might end up being a bust, which is very unfortunate. Um because it would have been cool. It was a reference to I'll tell you guys. If this fails, I'll just talk about it as we go to our fifth place. Or our fourth place, I'm sorry. So here we go. Yeah, honest feedback, so I know what to make better for the next time people look at my houses. A general tip for folks, and I think I do want to shoot a video on that. It's like, hey, let me give some beginners tips. Start small. Start small. Start with one room, right? Maybe start with one room. Maybe make for yourself like three walls, and leave the last one open or something like that. But start with one room and decide on a theme, and then stick with that, just that. And maybe you won't. Maybe I'm not going to tell you, hey, you got to achieve mastery with this style of room, but just give it a shot. And then when you're done, like step one, start with small. Start with one room. Step two, finish whatever you're doing. Get a. It's as if you're like writing a paper or something like that, or like drawing something. Get a complete thought out there. That way, when you're done, you can kind of step back and be like, oh, okay, let's see how I did. So you can look at like all these things that you put together, and you can kind of like do your own little retrospective of what you had done, how you put it together, and perhaps what you can do like later on. Um, and then, feel free to invite people for feedback. Open your house up. Hey, come take a look, leave a comment or something like that. Invite someone like me over to say something. Um, when it's a big collection of thoughts, I admit it's overwhelming for me, and it's hard for me to give like feedback when there are so many things that are being done at once that might have room for growth or improvement or whatever. Um, like notice how I only like my most of my comments were on like the room with all the trees, so I dropped a few thoughts on that. Um, okay, we're gonna try one more time, at least here. Levels, yeah, so they do have a character in Foundry's Point right now, but it's just not working. So I think their privacy settings might be super. I'll give it one more try, just so I can say I tried. And I got witnesses, right? Got a couple dozen witnesses. Is it like what a lot of people like? I think the comments are some people are saying the same thing. Who cares what people want? Make that secondary. Who gives a shit what other people want? Make what you want first. Don't make something to wow the audience. Make something to impress yourself. Something that you feel like you can be proud of and all that. And that's what I encourage when people sign up. Come at me with a place that you feel like you have a sense of pride at. And if you do, great. Things like that show. Okay, one more time. Checking the privacy settings. Nope. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. So we're going to skip that one. That one was a bust, unfortunately. Out of 500 some houses, that was the first. That one that just did that just pooped out. Bummer. I now have a blemish. Ah. So Racer, thank you very much for the prime, by the way. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to check out Liberty's place then. First one was some of my first kills and rewards that adds your personal touch. I won this. I won. Nice. Nice. I really can't wait until they do like weapon and armor displays. Oh, it's gonna be sick. Because then people are gonna go hard on like trophy rooms and like personal history. I think that'll be really neat. That would be the kind of thing where it'd be cool to be walked through a tour. Um, Now, I'm thinking about that, and uh, that's got to be a certain kind of spectacle to it. Because if I'm being walked through someone else's accomplishments, okay, that's cool, you know, and then they get an opportunity to tell their stories. But I do wonder, like, okay, how much is that? How much is something like that going to hold people's interest and all that? But putting the tour aside, just having this presentation of my history, like if I can go through like one room for like each of the expansions and like give a little vignette, sort of like this short story of like things I've collected or the things that I've done through the decor I've collected from, you know, gear and all that, that'd be a lot of fun. All right, 53. Yeah, I want mannequins, I want weapon displays and stuff like that. I'm excited for that. When it'll come, I don't know. I'm I'm hoping like I'm hoping once this next patch comes out, that'll be like one of the first things they talk about. Like, yes, give it to me. I'm also wondering about like the endeavors. The endeavors are kind of weird because you know, we just got a new endeavor. Or they refreshed, but it's like the same selections and people are pissed about that, whatever. I'll probably talk about that for a bit in the weekly because it's funny because we're seeing like this different sort of feedback. But notice how there's only 25 days remaining on this one. It's actually shorter than normal. So the endeavor lasted for about 27 days, something like that, which is a bit irregular. The endeavor will shift again June 9th, I think. 5, 10. No, not the 9th. Today is the 14th. We got 25 days left. So 7, 14, 21. 22, yeah. So like the ninth, the week of the ninth is when the endeavor will change. I'm gonna guess, right? I'm gonna guess that on the ninth we're going to get another shift. It's gonna be whatever. Um, but then after that, for 12.1, we're going to all be forced into some other endeavor. So it's going to be like some sort of like 12.1 troll endeavor, assuming that it's going to be a troll raid we go to next. And that could be cool. So, yay. And how they can realistically keep up with the endeavor system when they let people get all items without having that endeavor active. See, what's funny is I think I've been comparing ever since we learned about endeavors. I compared it to the trading post. Like, yo, these are easy. You just do stuff passively and you can mostly complete all this stuff. So like it's been like just a couple of days and like here's how far we got. And as far as the activities that my guild has been doing, haven't really been doing like neighborhood stuff necessarily. It's just been delves, dungeons, you know, just been stuff. The vast majority of it. And then we're gonna be almost done. Um Anyone who happened to pick up like artistic whatever it is, you know, like the public neighborhoods, as long as there's just people there, they probably already completed it. So not so bad. Um, but yeah, I was comparing the trading post with the endeavor progression stuff. So notice how the commentary of the trading post is like, oh my god, there's not enough currency. I want to be able to like farm everything that I want to be able to hard farm the currency blizz. Um, and all the items they shouldn't rotate. Everything should just be up, right? That's one argument, and that's valid. Here on the other side, with the endeavors, we kind of have the opposite. Oh my god, I bought everything, and now we're just seeing like the same stuff over and over again. This is dumb. Blizz, give us more. And so it's like, it's a very interesting contrast of feedback, um, where if they answer one, if they answer the needs of like one set of players, it's not necessarily going to make them happy. It's just going to shift the satisfaction elsewhere, or it's going to shift the complaints to like something else. Like I think I commented this morning, like someone was talking of, they were lamenting uh, how there was like some decor that they showed off, and some people immediately assumed that it would be shop content. And so this person on Twitter, they're like, okay, it's probably not going to be shop content because that stuff would be encrypted. But man, it really shows just how things like Hearthsteel has really like disrupted like the whole viewpoint of, oh, here's new decor. And people immediately be like, oh, if it looks cool, it's shop content. Blizz bad, and that sort of thing. And I'm like, oh, people are just really cynical about stuff. That's kind of my whole thing. Because even that commenter was like, okay, they immediately blamed Blizzard for it. I'm like, no, I just think people are just really depressing, and they just love to like drag stuff down. Um, and that's what had me think of the whole trading post versus Endeavor stuff. Because what if, right? Let's headcanon this shit here. What if the housing skins and all that stuff? What if there was just no Hearthsteel? Okay, what if it was just gone? What if those kinds of things just showed up on the trading post? What would happen? I guarantee you, people would crap all over it because they'd be like, wow, more of this gay woke stuff, Blizz. Ugh, 100%. That's what we would see. The rest of the people, they would just quietly buy it because they want it and they don't care what anyone thinks. End of story. And so, yeah, it never ends. It just never ends. Do you think it shows those Grumpstat posts? No, absolutely not. People give feedback. People can like things for whatever, but we see I tend to see a lot of like certain names and whatnot saying, they're grumbling about this, and if it wasn't this, then it's something else. So yeah. Anyway, see, this is what happens when we miss a visit. I'm free to just talk smack. All right. Oh, someone had a tip. A good way to make a multi-themed house and still have it flow is to, yes, choose a main theme that someone uses everything and is going to be in between rooms like hallways, so it flows more than sudden shifts from room to room. That's why I'm a big fan of wings. Having, you have like your central room, and then we veer off from one spot to the next to the next. Another great way of doing a multi-themed house, portals. Nice, just um, when you, and you've seen, if you've been paying attention, like sometimes when I go through a portal, I just kind of like write off, oh, where are we gonna go now? Oh, it's a total vibe shift. That's a great excuse for it too. At the cost of 5 decor, you can unimmerse, but kind of still keep things in theme for people, even if you have like very, very different looks to it. So that's probably going to be a tip that I'll have for myself. I'm going to utilize a lot of those dark portals to go from one project to the next, and just kind of make it clear if anyone happens to be visiting. Oh, okay, this is going to be like we're shifting to like something like totally different again. Just make a trading post vendor dedicated to housing. I'd love to see that at some point. I think they're just not. I think they just haven't landed on what exactly they want to do with it yet. But I feel like if they just did eventually, if they introduce decor into the trading post, do it like promotional items. Yeah, you got to do the thing in order to get the decor the first time, but then once you buy it, then you can just buy more with gold, and that's it. because that's the only way to do it. Um, since God, what's it called? Uh, Trading post currency. I totally forgot the name of it. I'm gonna remember it off memory. It's called um I forgot. Tenders. God damn it. Um yeah. Since tender is a very, very fixed, very, very tightly controlled currency, buy it with tender, then just buy it with gold afterwards from that vendor over in Orgrimmar or Silverman. That's it. Done. Ta-da. Um, because like obviously people would not be thrilled about having decor. Actually, I'd say the big reason why we're not seeing decor in the trading post is because it rotates. What if you miss that month, buddy? When's it gonna come back? I don't freaking know. Some stuff we still haven't seen doubles of them yet, and that's really, really unfortunate. Um, so I that's why I'm cool with decor not being ever in the trading post. Just like how I'm totally cool with decor never being a holiday thing. You know how folks are like bitching hard, oh my god, it's Christmas, it's Lunar New Year, blah blah blah. Why don't they have holiday decor? Because FOMO. Because if you miss out on it, then you're not going to see that stuff for like a whole year, and that sucks, right? Or like, what if you buy it, or you know, what if you like buy some like Easter eggs or something like that, but you can only buy them during that period? That would suck. The argument that people would make is, well, when these come out, they should just be up forever. Yeah, they should be up forever. So who cares when they come out? So you know, just because it doesn't come out during the holiday doesn't mean it's never going to come in. But when it does, it should just stay up forever, right? So, a lot of those warnings are from people who haven't worked in dev environments, especially when it comes to the whole QA and programmer stuff. Yeah, I've tried. There's no explaining through it. Like I've seen people who do game dev and software development be like, okay, here's what's going on, guys, and then they'll be like, well, who cares, you know, because it doesn't really fit their worldview and all that. Getting decor after a buy month and being short like five tender would suck. Yeah, it would really suck. And in that case, we would have to make choices between transmog, mounts, pets, and decor. It's a new section that we'd be adding. That would suck. I think people would be pretty displeased about that. At the same time, all the arguments that are like, hey, we need to make tender much easier to get, then we come to this, you know, then we'll easily fall into the whole endeavor trap. Oh my God, there's like nothing left to get. It's basically the doomsday scenario that I talked about when people had sorry, I'm totally ranting about all this endeavor trading post stuff. It's what I talked about when people say, "Oh, we need to be able to hard farm tender." I'm like, "No, no, no. Here's what's going to happen, guys. If we did that, we would get caught up. If we managed to catch up to all the stuff that's in the trading post, then anything new that would come in would feel meaningless because we would always have enough tender to buy everything. So at the start of the month, we would buy everything and that would be it. And we just wouldn't think about it anymore. So then it just becomes like this big grab bag gimme sort of thing. And the whole point of it would feel meaningless at that point. It's almost literally, hey Blizz, every month I just want a whole bunch of new stuff in my mailbox. And that's what would happen easily. So kind of unfortunate, but that's the kind of game that we have set up for ourselves. All right, I'll take another minute or so to kind of wind down the conversations. We can get back into visits because I think we had enough of that, right? I wish they had a trading post warehouse where some of the old stuff is always available. That'd be nice if eventually like they just like put stuff out. Eventually, because we're definitely in that point where it's like, okay, it's impossible to get like certain things, but I just want the opportunity for some of these things to at least be available, even if I only have limited currency. So, but I also have like, how much do I have? Um, Yeah, I got a good bit. So oh, is there a max amount of tender you can have? I didn't realize there was a limit. That is nice, huh? No, it would be more perfect if it was like 6967 somehow. All right. I think we're good. Thanks to Liberty for like me not doing anything for a while. I have like 0 tender left most months. I tend to be pretty frugal because I don't buy mounts. That's the big one. I definitely buy shields, and then I'll be pretty particular about other things that I get. This month was a spend month though. I spent like about 800 or so. So, can we buy seasonal promotions in the game if we missed them? Yes. There is a vendor over in Murder Row, and there are vendors in our capital cities. If you can, if you bought them or if you first got them. Anyway. All right, all right. Let's get back into the game, baby. All right, folks, this is Liberty's house. We're over in Founders, and okay, we have like walls set up, and okay, we did this again. All right, so we've seen this before. We first saw this with Cottage Wizard and Building Mouse, who had put together basically 2 homes, and in this case, that one's suspended by trees and whatnot. But the home that we'll be looking at today will be this one here. So let's see how this all comes together. So here we have like the 2 lots, and what's linking them together is, you know, we have this whole bridge set up along with a Niffin arch that brings it all together. I like this. Very clean. Very nice. We have our wall set up here. Let's do this climb. Boop, 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 boop. Actually, oh no. No, we failed the walk check. But it's okay. We can run. So we have this tight climb here. Back to walking. And once we're up top, all the budget went into the shaping of things. Just got to keep that in mind. So we have like this very nice boxy shape set up. It's avoiding the fine details, which is pretty unfortunate, but that's okay. Now, I almost feel like this is like a God, I forgot the names, but like a Family Feud sort of thing. Something versus McCoy's. So like their champions come out from each of these doors. They duel on the arena right here, and then whoever loses buys lunch for the other. You know, because that's all it is. Yeah, not too crazy. But yeah, cool stuff. Looking at these things together. That's adorable. That is adorable. What this really tells you is that it's a cool partnership, either between this community that this neighborhood's sitting on, or at least between these 2 people, because they wanted to like get these 2 houses to kiss. Very, very neat. All right, so let's head on inside, and we'll see what's good. Hatfields versus McCoys. There we go. Yeah, I knew it was something. I knew it was something. All right, the notes here say that we're entering the Mall of Azeroth. All right, the Mall of Azeroth, and as soon as we come in, I'm gonna come at this with mall energy, you know. So I expect to go through like these double doors and all that, and here what we have. There's a like a little one of these stroller things, dude. That's dope. We got our shopping carts, grab our stuff. Neat. Okay, I'm digging this already. So now here's the thing. Would that fit? It barely fits through the middle. Barely. All right. But we do have that bit of accessibility. I appreciate that. Well, let's head on in right past these benches where my dad will probably be sitting because he doesn't really want to walk around. Oh, and then here, first I thought this was the boss. What did they do with this dude? So they gave this dude a hat, full hat, backpack. They're using AI for stuff because typical. They're probably underpaid too. Actually, I've seen cloaks being used here too, which is very, very darling. But what do we have here? A carousel in the middle. Oh, this is so American. This is. Do we sit on them? We can sit on them. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. So we have our revolving carousel work. Oh, that's good. Now I feel sort of bad because like all the Miss Murgles have like stakes going through their brains and all that, but it's okay. They look fine, right? They're not alive, is what I'm telling myself, okay? Now, rounding this out appears to be an upside down fountain. You know, that's how we're getting this rounded shape here. And then up here, rat operators doing their thing. Right in the mid. Oh, this brings back memories, dude. Memories. So what else do we have around here in this particular spot? You know, it's the center area, right? So we have, oh, we got, oh yeah. So here's Janine and here's Daphne again. But same Daphne as the other day, just spelled differently. Janine, Daphne. Let's see if we can find them later on. Love the picture work on that. That's always a fun thing that really trips people up. But yeah, since we're in this like open area, this is where the parents are, right? Parents are here. They're drinking wine, obviously, doing their thing. Here we have like janitor work being done by AI stuff. But dude, they totally kitbacked a whole bunch of this stuff together too. Mop bucket, extra cleaning tools. Nice. Very nice. And what are I think that's oh that's a different cart setup, right? Yeah. So they took this and they have it on the side. That's why you see like here's like the top of that cart. So you can if y'all take your head and do like that, you can see what we're talking about here. Very nice. What else do we have in this small area? I mean, I imagine we would have like things like centerpieces and whatnot, which I think we have like right here. I wonder if that's intended. Like this seems to be raised. And I wonder if that was like the point. Because here we have the, if I'm allowed to click on it. So here's the garden, but then under it is the cherry blossom tree, which is meant to give this illusion of the petals like coming up, I guess. Sure. I'll take that. Yeah, that's fun. And okay, that's not the full move around. I think there are, oh, wait, are there two sets of, yeah, there are two sets of pictures doing the illusion. Oh, that's funny. Here is the map. You are here. And here's like the entrance. All right. Very cute. Very, very cute stuff. So I saw some signage here. So there's the food court, right? So that'll take us over to food court stuff. This here will probably take us to like all the stores or stands or what have you. I totally want to see. Oh, there's an escalator that way. Oh, that's sick. I don't know which way to go. I guess we'll go to the food court first because I'm gonna guess that's the closest way to get to like a dead end of sorts. So we're in the middle of the mall. All right, that's what I'm getting at here. We're in the middle of the mall. Right here is a like an ATM, maybe. This could be an ATM machine. Damn it, I said it. ATM machine. God dang it, so you got caught. I am in fact one of those people who will say ATM machine. Damn it. But yeah, we got that. And actually there's a lot of pieces. Crate, glowies, blueprints, little fidget thingy to click on, right? And then there's like a little bit more here too. This is another barrel. No. It's that machine. It's because we have like the whole twisty thing. Box, shelf, back of a shelf, side of a shelf. actually. Oh, interesting. The side of a shelf. That's quite creative. One bed to make this whole rounded shape. All right. Cool. Now, food court stuff. Coffee. I'm directed here first. Forget the other thing. And NPCs. Nice. Brilliant. Brilliant. So we got dudes working the shop. All right. Now, this is appropriate. I find this very appropriate because he looks so edgelord. You know, welcome. What would you like? You know, tattoos and everything. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll have some of this. There's kind of a theme set to it too. Notice we have like the reds and yellows right over here. So we got certain branding happening here. Looks great. Looks great. Here's our touch screen register. Yeah. On this end here, cookies, right? Cookies. Oh, dude. And we got drinkies and dude, it's for ice cream. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. We got pastry stuffs. We got pies. We've got colored rolls of thing. We got, are those vegetables? I'll get that out of here, dude. Are these like colored cannolis or something? They're cannolis? Oh, that's sick. Oh, it's been many, many moons since I had a good cannoli. Okay. And then again, we have these NPCs back here. Nice. Really nice work here, dude. Highly creative. And fun. Fun themes. All right, right through here. So we're past like hey, wait, where do we sit? Where's like the big cafeteria setup kind of thing? Well, we're going through here, and what is here in this L-shaped room? So here we just have like, oh, this kind of feels like every now and then you'll have like folks that are just like hanging stuff up to like sell. I think that's kind of what we're seeing here. But yeah, we just have like a gallery. So, and then here we go. Here we have Sassy Dragon right over here because we got more eating stuff. And we have like limited places for seating. All right. But let's see what we got. We got shots, right? We've got Chinese food. We got like the Chinese Takeout Express. Yeah, because we got like the racks. They're prepping their food. They put all together, put it in a bowl, and we're being served by the most suspicious character. All right. Oh, sorry. But back here, you know, basic setups here. All the fixins, condiments, extras to like add into it. Then they check us out. Touchscreen. You know, just take our card, beep, and we're good. Pizza stuff. Excellent. Oh, that's good. Check out the rack here, dudes. That's neat. That's neat. You know, sometimes people will work really hard at creating like very elegant kit bashing that is highly convincing. But a lot of the time, I really appreciate just like get the shaping done. My imagination will do the rest, and it just looks sick because we got like this cool display case set up with the warmer and all that for these pizza slices using the cheese. That's good. That's really good. And we can kind of see a little bit back there. We can kind of see the pizza oven back there, and like that. That's about it. Smart. Very smart. And then here, big meats. Here's the barbecue spot, right? Nice. Barbecue stuff over here being sold by the very suspicious ethereal person. Yeah, all the grills are running, ready to go. It must be really hot in there, but fortunately, he's an ethereal. He doesn't feel anything, so yeah, that's how that goes. And then we have this kind of isolated spot, sort of, kind of, sort of. So that way people can have like a little bit of private accessibility to like their space, booth seating, that sort of thing. Nice. Oh, and then shots on both sides. Ah. All right, let's go retreat back. So now we're exiting the food court area. Then we got like these two other spots. So we're gonna go, there's that way, and then there's the place with the escalator. Okay, we're gonna go this way first though. I have a feeling the place with the escalator, that's gonna be like the biggest wing of the mall. All right, so again, mall mindsets. Where are we? What is this? This is mirror of sorts. Not quite sure. Instagram spot, maybe. Go with that. That could be it. Here is a picture booth. Yeah. Boop. So here I is. Whole picture booth setup. Of course, Warcraft themed and all that. Okay, yeah, can't really go back there. All good. But yeah, nice tight booth setup. Very cute. Right over here. A little bit of wall decor. Exits. So it's the actual exit. That is the actual exit if I want to get out. But then right through here is the arcade, baby. Oh, what mall is a mall without a complete arcade setup? Heck yeah, dude. Let's go, dude. We'll start off here with what feels like, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. This could be a DDR setup, but not quite. Very interesting flooring here. I'm not quite sure what this is. These are like funny looking crates. No, it's just the rack, but then they put in like these, but then there's like these little gaps here. Smart. Very, very smart. All right. So it is meant to be a DDR kind of thing. Okay, here, this is what I'm, hold on, dude. Oh, that's sick, dude. Oh, I'm trying to remember what kind of, okay, this could be any number of games where you have like the whole, the whole the whole tilting bike thing. Oh, that's sick. That's really good. Well done with this thing. The shaping on this is great. Absolutely great. Feels very functional. Yeah. Smart. Really, really smart. Of course, we have our claw machine. And in this case, they made sure to they tilted it slightly so we can have like a little bit of angle to it. Only a couple things left, but hey, good luck, dudes. Oh, well, there's one in there. I can grab it already. So someone got the lion. Nice. We have our basketball kind of thing. Maybe this would have been better if it was like tilted up. That kind of, to me, that felt like it was kind of missing there, but hardly a critique of mine. Here we have this interesting whack-a-mole kind of thing. Whack-a shredder, something like that. Or whack-a-mole machine. Brilliant. Brilliant. Love it. And then here, more regular arcadey stuffs. Fight skull dudes. Fight dudes with weird shades. You think this is Mortal Kombat? That'd be sick. That is a good idea. And then, of course, for things that have prizes, which I guess is only really like this one right here, turn in your tokens and get the stuff you want. Right on, dude. That's dope. That's dope. All right, so that was the arcade stuffs. 18 and up. Oh boy. Jeez. Well, I didn't vet through this part, so we'll see how. I mean, it's a mall though. It can't get that bad, right? Right. So here we got a gallery of folks. So this is like the Dave and Buster's part of the arcade. So let's go. Boop. Okay, it's green. So far, so good. Right? Boop. And now, oh, drinks. Right on, dude. Things got kind of pinked up. Very clean looking here, so far at least. We can lounge. We can drink. We can get ourselves plenty of shots, snackies, and what have you. So we're all just gonna be standing around getting flushed while all the kids are like doing their thing. Right on. Love the theme. Interesting that the armor layer is here. So what kind of like lighting vibe would we want to go for here? So when we get to this spot, oh dude, that's dope. We got a whole climbing thing. We got rock climbing over here. Oh, nice. Why is this 18 and up? Why can't everyone like come in here and like play basketball and stuff? That's dope, dude. That's cool. I've been failing to take screenshots like all day today. I'm gonna have to like go back to the house to previous houses and take screenshots. So can I do this climb? I think I can do this climb. Let's do it. Let's get to the top. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, there we go. It's like I'm playing WoW. Boop. Oh no. Oh, I failed. Okay, that's a big fail. Nope. We gotta get up here, dude. I gotta see what's in that other room. Boom. Maybe I can use these and just go above that spot. That'll be like the cleanest way to do it. And then I'll just go do the jump, go here. And then boop. And treasure. Heck yeah. Do, 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 do. What do we get? Gold, baby. And so from up high, we get to observe the b-ball game going on downstairs. Right on. All right. Get some refreshments and we're good. All right, let's see what's on the other side of this spot here. Cause we got all right, hold on. All right, so right through here. Now what do we got? Dance floor, baby. Boom, boom, boom. Who's the DJ? AI. No, we got a dude inside who is trapped in the machine. Yes. So he's stuck in there forever. And we got this whole EDM setup. Oh, this is festive. Super bright. Super bass. Dude, these speakers, dude, that is going to blow people's minds almost literally. Well, very grand setup with what's going on here. This is sick. Lights, everything. And what do we have here? Recycling machine. We have another one of the effigies. Lots of Mechagon stuff is being used to put this together. But of course, but we also have like this. I love the shaping of this like totem. It's just fantastical. Very over the top. You see it with 20 people dancing in it. That's sick. That would be neat. That would be neat. All right, so let's retreat back again. I saw someone saying in the chat, it was like, oh man, it's bad. I'm like, what do you mean it's bad? This is it's all good. It's just for adults. That's all. Not even saying it's for like you know, that anything, ain't no debauchery happening over here. Don't look like. All right. So leaving the arcade area, we're backtracking back into the main spot, past the carousel, and now we're going to check out what's going on this way. So here, bookstore, very cool, small bookstore. But hey, I heard bookstores are coming back these days, so it's all good. Yeah, nice setup here, and then here, music store? Maybe music store? Not quite sure. It feels like it, you know, I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not entirely sure what's being depicted here. I'm gonna say music store. It looks like it could be that, but I'm not sure. We'll go with that for now. Now, this I'm very impressed by. A freaking escalator. That's so good. That's smart, dude. That is smart. Oh, and an updated map. Excellent. Incredibly excellent. Including elevator. There's another exit. Let me look under what's under the escalator. Bathroom. All right. And what do we have here? Great job with the trash can right over there. Rinse off. We have air dry our hands. We got our urinals as well. But yo, no, there is no wheelchair access though. Ruined. I'm just kidding. Really nice setup though. All right, wash off, air dry, or wipe off, and we're good to go. All right, so we're coming out from under the stairs. There's the exit. That's an exit, right? That's an exit. Okay. And then we have this elevator, but it's a secret shelf too. So what is behind here? Oh, sorry. Going up, dude. All right, puppy. You do your thing. Meanwhile, we're going to walk. All right, so up we go. Awesome. Freaking awesome. So we're at level 2 of the mall now. Oh, and then here's the here's another elevator door. And hey, I'm super amused by this place. Oh man. Here we got our outside view. All right, a little bit of branding, all good. Oh, we have a random puppy who's like hanging out on the second floor. Okay. Oh, this leads us up. Okay. So that'll lead us one more level up. Got it. But here, it's kind of a trinket shop. You know, you want to buy some cool stuff. Actually, it's more like a figurine shop. So they made these things. Right on. Oh, well done. Hope business is booming for you. Just kidding. Malls are in trouble right now, but whatever. Now things darken up. Now we have like these darker themes. You know, we're in this darker area, but also like these stronger themes. This looks sick. So here's like electronic store stuff. You want to buy a little TV? You want to buy a mini earthen? Go ahead. All that stuff is available. Gadgets, trinkets, fun stuff. My kind of toy store. Different kinds of toys as well. You know, with void stuff. Yeah, great work. And then here, what mall isn't complete without weapons? Weapons, some of it custom made. Custom engravings included as well. Excellent. Excellent. It's a great take on like professions too, if you wanted to think of it that way as well. So let's continue this climb, this exploration of the mall. We go up the curve here. Boom, boom. We reach the top. We kind of have to step off here. We have another elevator set up. Let's see who's in here now. Adorable. Some little mall decorations, different branding here. So actually, you know what this is? This is more like one of those like those signages for like a pet store or something like that. So inside the pet store, you'll see like one of the animals here, which is like terrible, by the way, if that's what's being depicted here. Like those dudes are just hanging out in their little cages all day in the mall. Ooh, rough. Right up top here, flowery stuff being sold. Cool. So of course, gotta have a florist up here. Very nice. We go through, we have another set of stores, and that's not the boss, is it? No, that's just a kit bashed person. Okay. So right up here, some more a more exotic collection of imbibements, potions. It's like you know, here's where we sell all the essential oils and stuff. Like this is a God, what's the place called where they sell like lots of soap and beauty products and stuff like that. Mostly soap, not Bed Bath and Beyond. I forgot the name of it. Dang it. Herbal Essence or something like that. No, that's a brand. Bath and Body Works. There we go. Thank you guys. How long has it been since Soul's been to a mall? Very, very long. That's how you know. Oh, and here we go. Clothing store. Haven't seen a whole lot of that in the mall yet, or in this mall at least. Clothing store. Neat. We kind of have a mannequin set up right here. They look great. The Arakoa clothing store. That's adorable. That is adorable. Back here, a furniture store. Ah. Now here we only have like models of these, and I think this is very clever. This is very clever. I was thinking of a concept like this where like it would just be like a big storage area where everything was like minified, but here it is. Here's a good concept of it. Nice. So buy now, you get 0 down and delivery is free. But the financing sucks. You know, you got to watch out for those places. And I bet you this place is going out of business because they always are. Every every furniture store always going out of business. Okay, so we're gonna climb down now. All the way to the bottom of the mall. Because I think we've seen everything on this side, but I'm not sure if I missed anything else yet. So we'll go down here because that's the way to do it. Boop. I think I have seen everything. This was fun. This is a fun spot. Now what's cool here is we can get away with a lot of things because we have like a very fixed theme with the mall stuff. So it's like, oh, you know, walls aren't filled out. That's the point. It's a mall. You know, you're not going to have like super filled out spots in every corner. That's just not the nature of things. A lot of the time we're just kind of walking through stuff. But when we get to places, that's when things kind of come together. It's still not going to have like this hugely like detailed spot or, you know, every wall is filled up with things. Because a lot of the times we go into these mall places, they're a little sterilized. They're a little bit too clean. They don't have a lot of that personalization. But it's more like, does it feel inviting enough to be the kind of place where we want to like come to and stay at? And I think this delivers. This is a great build. This was hella fun. Let me go back to that arcade really quick. Wherever that was. Great first impression with the carousel, by the way. It's like the perfect kind of centerpiece of any mall. Yeah, so here we go. Back to like the arcade stuff. Sick. Really, really cool stuff. Yeah, so great job with this. Great job with this. All right. So we got one more spot to check out. Actually, I want to take a screenshot of the carousel mostly. That's the coolest. Again, very good first impression that we had here. He called it the Mall of Azeroth. Yep, this is definitely the Mall of Azeroth. All right. Boop. Yay. All right. One more. And you know, once we're done here, I might double check that third place that errored out. I'll do one more check. Make sure we're, you know, see if it happens to work. Someone commented. They made a big comment earlier. I made a setup. If you're interested, I can show a quick walkthrough. It's a bit of a maze plus troll build. One spots are available. Just sign up. Yeah. That's the typical go-to answer. I know it's not the best answer, but spots get filled up a hell of fast. Do the escalators actually move? No, they don't. But it pulled off the illusion really well. You went up and yeah, it just had that good vibe, especially because I was walking up it. The speed of the treadmill seemed to match pretty well. All right. Oh, what the hell is this? Yeah. All right, folks. This is Mugen's place. We're over at Razorwind, and somehow I'm getting like Mega Man vibes somehow. Because whenever I look at this statue, I think of a Mega Man X villain called Sigma. And I don't know what the state of the game is right now, like lore wise, but that's what I always see whenever I see this face. And yeah, so I'm not quite sure what to make of this right now, but it definitely looks like a dude's head plus helmet. He's got like these goggle things running. So that's neat. Very cool sculpture that's being set up. As for what it means, I don't know yet. We'll have to see it, but it's just a really cool looking helmet. I can click that thing too, right? Let me see if there happens to be like anything on top of that. I doubt it, but let's see. We might be surprised. Oh, there's a little something in there. It is like the control panel thing. So there's a cockpit in there. Oh, excellent. Can I go in there? Sort of. Not really, but I can look, right? Nice. So it's just a big floating head. Oh, use the chair. Okay. Oh, there's the boss in chat. Awesome. All right, let's try this again then. Boop. And then I can kind of click. Nope, that's closing it. We're getting there. I just got to get closer somehow. I just... No, in the front. Use the chair. Oh, that's a chair, I think. Oh, so that lets me walk in. Right on. And then I can get into the console. Yes. Excellent. Our target set towards the mountains. Let's freaking go. That's dope. That's dope. All right. So, big floating headship thing. Check. Now, as for this contraption, oh boy, we have a double, what's it called, greenhouse that's closing this up. It feels like this is another like ship of sorts. But yeah, there's like little rocket looking things on top. Lots of tech inside as well. Treasure chest inside. Could be a reactor of some sort. This is neat. This is really neat. And then we can kind of peek on the other side. But that's mostly like the house. All right. So I think, oh, and then these, it's got like these little tentacle arm looking things, like lasers. Oh, that's sick. All right. So let's head inside. Cool. Themes out because not big fan of horde houses. It's all right. Yeah, whatever you want to have, dude. All right. So we head inside, and I did not expect to see this. We have a different vibe as we go inside the place. Like we go in and immediate hallway of sorts. All right. So we came in through what feels like, it was nighttime. We walked through like some stables or whatnot. Or, I'm sorry, we walked through the actual lot of the house. And it feels like so it feels like this here is the house. So cool illusion that's being set up. I like this. I like this. Yeah, we enter the estate, right? Next to the wagon and everything. And then up front, we can kind of get a peek as to what's ahead of us. People are watching TV inside. I look like such a creeper right now. Ooh, what's going on? Huh? Can we see? Can we see? So you can see some activity going on there. From the other side, we can see what looks like a climb upstairs. Some rooms on the side. Oh, we got a gaming machine. I feel like I'm casing the place. Like I'm about to rob it or something like that. Like, yo, dude, check out them double screens, man. Check out that rig. It's gotta be a Murloc-ware machine. Let's get it. It's also nighttime right now. Lights are down from the feel of it. And in we go under these shrouds from the outside. So we're making our way inside. So again, I feel like I'm robbing the place. I'm like sneaking inside. But probably not. So I notice here, yeah, very unique build already. So it's a pretty large room that we're entering. It's just been carved out into like all these different room setups. Very neat. Very big walls that are being set up here too. At least that it looks like it. Because we have, okay, those are curtains, buddy. That's a painting. I'm unable to click it. Yeah, so I think like these are like walls being set up here for all these separations. But well, let's take a look at the room that we're in here. Very warm, very tight. Again, low roof, and then we have another floor that's like right above us. So we go across. Whoop, 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 whoop. We have our shroud, but then I'm invited to go into this open area here first. But then we'll backtrack just to make sure. So I'm not entirely sure like which room is which, because remember, this was like the main room. Oh, I'm sorry, this was the main door that we entered through. So anyone who's coming in here is going in through this spot, or maybe this is the back lot for all we know. Yeah, could be that too. But I just love how tight the space feels. It's nice and filled out, not overly filled out, but it's mostly the low space that makes things really feel very convincing. So there it is. We're just sitting, doing our thing. Rinse off, good to go. This is the actual channel, Alex. Yeah, you're fine. So back here in this room, bit of storage here. Oh, and we're invited up. Wow, this is a really tight space. So so here's where we would go up. I think we'll do that. Let's explore, dudes. We're going up what feels like a bunch of wall shelves into this upper area. Kitchen stuff. Ooh. Very compact kitchen, too. Bunch of stuff that's layered up on top of each other in this vaulted room, by the way. So pretty small spot. Up above, skylights, but it's nighttime. Remember that's the vibe that we're going for here. Not just the lighting, but the actual room is trying to depict this whole nighttime vibe. There's what might be like a trash disposal in there. Big old filled out fridge. Right on. And then we have some pie. Look at that. What a magnificent setup. What a great oven. Where you could even have like the strawberries on top of it and everything comes out fine. Excellent. Excellent stuff. Yeah, food's going. Stuff is served. What do we have in pie and cake? We're not that healthy around here. We're feasting. Oh, wow. This upstairs there. Oh, dude, this upstairs, this layout is awesome, dude. This is hella cool. So here's like this whole hallway kind of spots. This entire extension all connects together. Again, really, really tight. Super compact. I love it. I love it. Great stuff with like the flower box up there. Here we sit, feasting, noshing on stuff. Right on. No family style. This thing's all mine. Forget it. And then here we cut across and we go over some of these other rooms that we'll be checking out. So I'll do like we'll go back downstairs. Oh wow! And then this big trophy setup. Oh, that's sick. That is cool. What is this exactly, actually? This is hammers. Huh. Well, that's unique. There, he used four hammers to help frame this. And then what's on the side here? Spears? Yeah, spears. That's very, very cool. That's very clever. And then here we have like the top of the consortium boxes. They've been wrapped, twisted or rotated. And then they crammed all of the prey trophies in there. Sick. Is it like a vending machine? Maybe, maybe not. I think it's more like just a really cool display. Yeah, to show off. And showing off it is. That's really cool. So we cut across now. Now we have this kind of open bedroom area. But what's really neat too, it's nice and filled out, nothing too excessive, is that we get a glimpse of what is outside. It's not outside, we're still like indoors, but it's pulling off the illusion like really, really well from like this point of view. It totally has that, okay, that's outside kind of vibe. That's dope. So now we climb down. So here are the stairs that we saw from before we entered the house. And now we're in this sort of room where we had like the gaming station right on. Gaming station. So this is like, the fun room. Here we have another bathroom. So you saw one at one end of the house. This one is pretty complete though. Full toilets. We have our standing shower. The whole floor is set up like this. So that way, we just have like the one drain. Very nice. Very kit-bashed shower too. It feels like it's constructed in such a way that, yeah, you can like move the shower head the way that you want it to. So you have, it's not just you, it's other people that are in the spot too. Got our products and vanity stuffs. Everything that we need for a complete shower workout. Except for clothes. So, but it's all right. It's all right. We come out of here naked. It's all right. We do what we want. And this is a bedroom too. So they also have their own collection of stuff. Here's like their little like shelf, ultra spot, complete with their favoriteest person in the world. We lay down. We have like this warrior headboard right up top here. TV right next to us. Oh, yeah. What a nice pad. What a nice little spot. Sit, do our thing, watch stuff. But enough. Oh, so a doormate sits here too. Oh, wow. And check out the keyboard on this thing, dude. This is intense. We have a whole bunch of Orgrimmar beams that are being used as keys. Got a dual screen, of course. Nice work on the tower as well. I mean, maybe I don't know what would have been easier. Like a lot of people, they just use a book and it's like, okay, cool, there we go. In this case, they use some Mechagon machinery. And maybe on the side here, like I think one of those canvas prints would have been like pretty good too. But cash wise, that's just really expensive. That's like 15 or 4, like 5,000 gold or something like that to put all that together. By comparison, this is pretty cheap. But yeah, neat setup. We also have our mic, headset, and webcam. Nice. So the shot, so here's what people are looking at. What's up, everyone? This is Coffee with Soul. And so here's like the background that people are seeing. Nice. Very pleasant. Very, very pleasant. And they can stare at Ilaria. Cool. Just like how here, people can stare at, crap. I forgot her name. But you know what I'm talking about. She's hot. Chessboard right over here. And then we're invited to go outside that way. I think there were multiple ways to go out, but I didn't take it. We'll go out this way. Because I think this all ends up connecting. So we're kind of going, quote, outside. But not really. Oh, wow. So this is pulled off really well. Because we have like this, so we're basically in a courtyard, right? It's nighttime, we're in a courtyard, and we have like this sort of vibe set up. This looks really good. I love how this all lands together. The lighting works out great. Having the Arcan door as like the centerpiece works out. We go across, and this is more or less kind of a public space. People doing their thing. And remember, we're all outside. Check out the clock over there. Kind of a public thing for everyone. Public fishing pool as well. Yeah, really big space. We cut across here and into Narnia of some sort. It's just a whole bunch of Legion maps, and we have like this wild effect. That's gonna be neat. Hopefully I can walk through that. Then back here, I'm kind of walking on the grass here. This kind of carved out area as a Pandoran shrine. Huh. So this looks a very urban apartment kind of feel to it. You can see here, like there's like some contraptions. You got some AC vents and all that. Over here, what do we have? Kind of a garage setup. That's how it feels. Garage, storage, but I'll go with like a garage kind of thing. Through here, let's keep exploring. Huh. Yeah, I think we've seen most of what's here. I think I'm gonna go through there now, but I wanted to double check. Yeah, there was actually, let's go here first, because I think this is the connecting room that we saw from a little bit earlier in the build. Yeah, so like the bathroom's right there. Okay, cool. So that's how all this comes together. That's this. Okay, I love how this all comes together, and this is all just one room from the feel of it. That's sick. That's really, really good. Let me double check what this clock's made out of real quick. Looks like a bunch of cushions. Cushions for the, I'm sorry, it's a little pillows for like the 12, 3, 6, 9s, and then little cushions for like the other hours. That's cute. Missed the bar. Did I miss the bar? Okay, so let's look around for that. So I'll wait and go there later. So let's head over. Yeah, lead me over. Show me what I missed. All right, so we're going through here. This is the spots. That was, oh, it was right through this shroud. Haha, nice, thank you. Boop. Oh, dude. Oh, this looks good. This looks really good. I love the deep colors here. Definitely like a cool lounge vibe. Like this really feels like a place to be at, you know? Like this setup is neat. This thing pops, man. With the way the lighting is set up and everything. Especially because it's dark, a very, very chill lounge sort of vibe. So yeah, I apologize for missing the spots. This is definitely an eye-popping place. So we got seatings. Okay, it's not working seating, but that's okay. Not all the time do we need to like really fit in all those details. Note how we have the canvas prints being used as like those top canvas. Okay, so that one works. Maybe my thing's just not working. Okay, it's just not working right. Cool. So seating works just fine. Boop. Yay. Upper rack setup. Behind it, all the good stuff that we need. And like some little bits of details there. We got our tap, we got our cooler for ice. Sick. Some branding right up there. Yeah, what a great spot. Now, how was this carved out? So like here was like, it's kind of funny because like here is like, maybe you could say it's like this kind of like walk through public area. And then you enter the bar just right behind a shroud, not through like a door or anything like that. That's neat. All right. So I think we're now ready to go through those Legion maps and see what else there is to explore. Let's go. Yeah, that's neat. The way that this all like ends up coming together, because it all ends up being shaped to create this very effective door looking structure. So let's go. Boop, boop, boop. And we've entered like this sort of hallway of sorts. Yeah, very natural feel to it, but we also have like this other big centerpiece, super bright. Oh man, this thing's screaming at us. Right? So we have a number of things. Okay, there it is. There it is. It's these candelabras that are making it like super duper bright. That's cool. Big contrast from like the other side here where it's like much more dim. And then we complete the cross. And now we've entered a building. Big old fountain as the centerpiece, where on the other side, place to chill. Someone's chilling, relaxing, right in front of the fire with a big old anvil, chilling up top there. All right. Note the multiple filigree lights that's up top here. Really, really bright space. Yeah, filigrees plus the PvP stuff, along with the windows up here that are like shining down. All right, so let's go through here. Oh, docking up real quick. So now we go into what reads like kind of an apartment-y sort of area again, because that was just like, you know, your bed and your full bath, and that's it. Nice and easy. Yeah, so a bit more minimalist over here. And that's what we're seeing in at least some of those apartments. Like some of them are like, you know, not so big. The first place that we entered, though, you know, very expensive. That's like the most expensive apartment of them all in this complex. Like that's the landlord's place, something like that. Because they had all the cool stuff. Gaming stations, they had like the trophies, all that good stuff. And then we enter another apartment, and we kind of we sort of replicate what was on the other end. We walk in, immediate bed. Here I expect to see like just a basic bathroom plus shower or tub. There you go. We got our tub. Again, minimalistic view that we have here, but we do have some ventilation. Very important. Very, very important. Okay, so there is a you have guest rooms here? Wait, guest rooms. What the hell? Uh, okay, so apparently this is transparent. Let's go. Boop. And boop. So this effect sometimes I'm taking guesses here as to like how this is transparent. Actually, I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes this can be pulled off when you have like certain walls and you make them really big, but I'm not immediately seeing the illusion at work here. So I feel successfully fooled. Yeah, because you can see here like we have the generic wall panels that are back here, but we make the cross and you can see in between sort of how it's a barrier. I'm sorry, how it's a platform. So that's solid. You can't do anything about that. But these walls you can make semi-transparent if you just make them really big. Like notice how the texture is really, really large. Um, and it's kind of a bug where you can make the walls bigger by using a hotkey, but you can't use it via the buttons. And because of that, you can force it visually to be big, but the hitbox doesn't change, if that makes any sense. So the hitbox size of walls don't change, but you can visually change the size of it, which is, you know, one of them is a bug, the other is not. But in this case, it definitely looks like it's just it's using large walls. But anyway, here we are, and okay, these actually remind me of mushrooms somehow. Yeah, with the way these are all coming out, like a sort of Herondar vibe. So you go through this hallway, and now, okay, now we are outside. Oh boy, now what is this? Oh wow, what is this effect? We have this very interesting setup here. It almost looks like hands, or like, you know, hands with like these wicked nails that are grabbing at Zeldath, and like they're just grabbing at her or something. That's neat. This fountain is being glowed up too. So it is one of the newer fountains that we've seen, but they also included what looks like one of those moon wells. But they also added more effects here. Like, notice how we have this kind of this sort of like mini climb here as we go up these little curved tables. Yeah. Now, as for what else is out here, as long as I don't get stuck, great work with the transition, because the whole place is just closed off, you know, so the illusion is fully kept. Now, as for what's out here, we'll go in there in a bit. I just want to see what's out here first. Lots of natural decor being set up, big fountain work. Right over here, oh, we got a big reception going on here, dudes. Big barbecue, like, check it out. So we got drinks set up, grill. Dude, this grill is intense. Holy cow, hold on. This will take a second. We gotta we gotta spot all these things. So we got crates as the base. What's this right here? That is a wall rack that's being used as like a framing, and then on the top of that, you just have your beam, button. Under that, okay, I'm not entirely sure what's under that net. Oh, actually, it might have something to do with this, the capture crate, or that. Oh no, that's just the top of it. So this whole, yeah, it's just using the top of this as this square frame. We have these these upside down paintings plus beams. Well, dude, there's a lot that just went into this grill. That's crazy. You know, here's the frame, beam on top of that. So yeah, very expensive budget on this grill. I mean, it works out because I'm thoroughly convinced of everything here. That looks sick. And what else do we have? Big oven going on. Plenty of wood for to keep the fire going. And we got a huge cake. This is like wedding style cake, man. Or like giant family style. I mean, look at the size of this thing. Huge. Big as a man, dude. Big as a man. But very festive. You know, again, we have like a lot of kit bash stuff thrown together. I mean, we have like the included cakes, but we also have like a whole bunch of like these floating flowers. We have candles being set up on top of the cake, more fruits and cakes on top of that. It's a lot. Very, very dense dessert. And delicious. All right, so we'll go through here, and what do we have? Another kind of loungy spot. So not exactly like the club, but like puppies, we can like lay down, curl up, and enjoy ourselves. This is actually pretty good. I like this. Now that I'm looking at these, I think these pet beds, they just make for good, like, good couches. Yeah, these are sick. I like them. You know, so it's a very dimly lit setup. Notice the kind of candle work that's being on here doesn't produce any light, which I think might be a bug. But it's not all that certain yet. Got some table work here, or eaten. Great ice chest here, by the way. So let's open this guy up. Yep, so there's like ice stuff down there, along with other bits of foods. Canvases are helping to close that off. More canvases here as a straight edge to help with the wine rack there. Very neat setup. I notice here too, we have like this whole slant look using the table. Closing it off with the Gilnean walls that you can see kind of along here. Is that a phone? I don't know. Not sure if that's just hey, something decorative, or if it's meant to be like a phone or something like that. And then so this is the way inside. I didn't go in here yet. Or I wanted to come in through this other side here. So here we are. Boom. here's like, I guess, like the main entrance. So it feels like a, not exactly a house, but definitely a chill spot to like hang out in. All right. And a relaxing spot right here. And let's kind of go around the other end here. Make sure we got everything. All right. I'm not certain if I've... Oh, dude, check it out. That's it. No idea who that's supposed to be. But surprise. That's funny. That's funny. I didn't see it on the way in, right? So I came in at this angle. Yeah, I didn't see it at all. I was like, okay, that's cool. We're outside. Oh, that's dope. Check it out. That's neat. Okay, we're dead. Um we're so dead. I feel like they're about to like fly down and just annihilate. That looks sick from this angle, dude. That looks hella cool. I am quite wowed by that. So cool, dude. Really good job with that. Um, did I miss anything? I wasn't counting rooms, so I apologize. I don't know if I need to like backtrack or whatnot. That last part was neat. Oh, oh no, that's right. It's a illusion. That's right. I think I have to go like this way. Boop. Sort of. There we go. All right. So they mentioned something about a mechanical train. Did I miss a mechanical train somewhere? Yeah, 9 rooms in total. In room 7 next to the mechanical train. Oh, I think they meant this. Okay. That's those are the other two. Okay, cool. So I think I saw everything, right? Look up some god friends. Okay. So I did see that. Great. Alrighty. Well, dude, thank you. Thank you for showing your place. This was dope. This had a really cool vibe. Love the lighting and everything. I am thoroughly entertained. So I want to give a big thanks to folks who let me visit their place. Too bad about Rob of the Realm. I don't know what happened to their place. Hopefully everything is okay. Because what that place was, that was going to be like a whole RuPaul's Drag Race sort of vibe to it. I saw a little bit of the build. Because I wasn't sure if because I didn't read the notes. I'm like, ooh, drag race. Are we gonna see like cool cars or like a RuPaul's thing? It's a RuPaul's thing. But it was supposed to be like kind of like a mock-up of like I guess like the studio and the stages and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that would have been neat. So, oh well, too bad, so sad. That sucks. Oh, Jay, this is the longest 4 hours to get the cuddly. Oh, sorry about that. But you chose to be here. It's a transmog stage and all. Oh, that place? I don't know if you've seen it. So I only got to see like a little bit of it. But yeah, great places that we saw this week, as usual. I'll make sure to do like the little recap and whatnot, as I always do. But next week is going to be very, very busy. On Tuesday is going to feel normal. Wednesday is going to be very abnormal. It's going to be a long stream where we're going to um, uh, look at houses, of course. It's going to be the usual allotment, but then at 3 p.m. Pacific, we're also going to go live on the main Warcraft channel on Twitch, and then we'll be doing 5 more places. So that should be fun. Hopefully, I won't wear myself out too much, but I think between between my usual 12 o'clock or 12:30 stop time and then 3 o'clock, I'll give myself a chance to like rest a little bit, recover. I'll still be on stream. We'll still be hanging out. So we should have a good time. Think he's live. Should I ping him? You're talking about Rob of the Realm. I mean, I tried going to their place a number of times and it just wasn't working. So, and we're also out of time now. So I might have to just hold off and defer it to like next week or something. So yeah, they're still in the same spot. Still can't see their place. And then I'll just do a quick look on EU realms. But it seems to be busted. Yeah, fun places this week. Next week should be a hoot. Yeah, usually what happens once I finish like the Thursday stream, I'll try to immediately start adding folks into the next round. So I'll start like a whole bunch of battle tag connections. Because sometimes it takes people a little bit to actually answer the invite. You know, sometimes it might take a while. So I try to do it sooner than later, but not too soon. So let's take a look, and nope, no houses available. So I don't know if it's their privacy settings that might be preventing me from even seeing anything or what. So, but there's something going on, unfortunately. Maybe it's Blizzard. That's easy. Let's just say it's Blizzard and write it off like that. So I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna be working on stuff. I'll see what I can talk about for the upcoming weekly in just a few days. Well, yeah, next week should be very exciting. So I hope you'll join me for that. So I'll be hyping it up and trying to get folks to come through. We'll have like giveaways and other fun stuff as well. So you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys for the next thing. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always,